guys and girls are at? What's going on? Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. Big ups to everyone, big ups Zombie fan, happy birthday, big ups Jedi Knight, Backboy, Anthony, Dreambird. Welcome all aboard to the Firehawk, all aboard. Now, I apologize, chat, I meant to stream earlier today, but when you pull a couple of doubles back to back, it can wear you out. Also, which Mass Effect is this? This is the cutscenes from Mass Effect 3. Actually, the trailers too. The trailers and some of the teaser trailers. Actually, the trailer for when they first launched Mass Effect, and then it has a mixture of the trailers for that. So that's what's going on with this one. Like I said, let's get into this chat. I won't be in for long because this is gonna be just covering this restream. I do have work tonight, so I'm going to stream until about 6. So this one's going to be a solo. But tomorrow, back to our normal schedule where we're going to be covering a lot of stuff. But let's go into this because, oh boy, I can't wait to hear what Phil has to say about this one, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get into this. Don't know why this always does this, but hey. It is what it is. And don't worry, I'm not covering this Hollow Knight. I know how boring that is. The last time I watched that, Nelly, that was boring as hell.
And their results, and try to get feedback from you on how you feel it went, and if I should try.
And don't worry, chat, I got plenty of skip juice.
Try this moving forward.
But before he continues yapping, let's turn this up to 1.2.
In addition, I'm getting flack. Because I did a video after that stream of Crizzle that basically gave my thoughts about the game after 3.5 hours, and people are saying that I was off base and unfair.
Yeah, I know which game he's talking about, chat. I see the clips of it. Phil, 3 hours is not good enough. You need to spend a lot more longer in the video game.
We'll talk about that. In addition, today I would like to react to the Directive 8020 a trailer that released yesterday. The game finally has a release date. This is the next game from Supermassive Games. That'll be exciting. And I would like to plan more for the upcoming marathon that we're going to be holding on March 6th called the Retrothon, so we can get more of an idea of what it is and we can begin to promote and hype it up to get people to show up for it. So we've got a good amount.
Phil, you just had a marathon last week. Why are you doing that one all of a sudden so soon?
Of stuff to talk about on today's show. In addition,
Clip Phil's Discord and parent crash out. Ooh, send me that, zombie fan. Please do.
I want to get to Hollow Knight. And so, I hope that we can get through a good amount of stuff on this show, but not drag it out. So, everyone, I hope that you're here and ready to chill, sit back and relax. It's time for a very, very involved and heavy episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Oh, goodness gracious. Susie says, I know it's going to be some stupid nonsense. And big ups to Raw Phil giving us some better music than this.
Show live. Now, before we even get into the content for today's show, I want to give you a little sneak preview of Friday's Level 1 Podcast, which will be the last streaming day of the week. Today is actually the middle of the week. It's kind of the second half of my streaming week beginning in my 6 days of streaming today.
Why are you going to give us a preview to the Level 1 Podcast this week? This Friday. What's so special about it?
Okay. If for those who are not aware, coming up on Thursday, there are not one, but two big digital presentations that will happen in the realm of gaming. The first is from Sony. Sony will be doing an hour plus.
I still need to upload it to my channel, but no, definitely take your time, zombie fan. Hey, listen, make sure you upload to your channel first and then send it to me because I definitely want to see it. I want to make sure I can promote your channel too, my man.
Long state of play, and from all reports, this is going to be one of their most involved, detailed state of plays they've ever done. People are estimating some 10 or more games will.
And also, chat, this Friday, please tune in to Zombie Fans Birthday Marathon. It's going to be a blast. I'll try to stream earlier within that day, but then once I get finished, I want to stream till close to let's say 3:30, 4 o'clock when he streams, guys. Whoever's still here, I'm seeing over the Zombie Fan for his birthday marathon because I want him to get all the love and support too as well. I mean by support, just you guys going there and having fun, unlike what Phil wants.
Actually be in-depth previewed during this event. Don't know if there's truth to that or not. People are even saying that the speculation and rumor.
Actually, Anthony, if you're on Discord, definitely hit me up. There are some things I do want to talk to you behind the scenes, something I have in mind. I don't want to say it just yet here.
is that Marathon, the new game from Bungie, Bungie, never mind, will actually not only be previewed and fully explained, but that a beta will likely go live immediately following the end of the state of play. So that's event number 1, okay? And event number 2 is that it has now
So what, you gonna play the beta, Phil? If you do, we know what's gonna happen.
been announced by Konami that Konami is going to be doing their own Silent Hill transmission later on that afternoon. So you got the Sony State of Play at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, the Silent Hill transmission at 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Now, here's the thing. I'll be streaming tomorrow afternoon, gameplay. So I'm not going to be watching those events live. However, I will react to any of that stuff that goes down that's important or notable or stuff that people want to get my opinion.
Also, Chad, send me what time those things are, when they start, because I might put that into the stream tomorrow just in case.
On Friday morning's Level 1 podcast. So if you're interested in seeing me react to anything from State of Play or from the Silent Hill transmission, come by on Friday morning. That's the 13th of February. Friday the 13th. Uh-oh. I didn't realize that. But anyway, come by on Friday the 13th to get my reactions to all of that stuff. Okay? So Friday will be a very in-depth, important podcast. But what about today? We're in the middle of the week. We got a lot to talk about today. All right, we do. Yesterday was kind of an interesting and important day for me because not only was I trying out an indie game, the likes of which I likely would have skipped in the past before this year's changes to my content that I've instituted, but also I tried something different during the stream that I want to now reveal to all of you to let you know how it went. But after I finished that stream playing Crizzle Theater of Idols, I made a 10-minute video to give my honest thoughts about the game, and some people seem upset. To be honest, all right, I feel like right now on the internet, there is a bandwagon movement, a cultural mentality that says, hey, favor the indie game, kiss the indie game's butt, play the indie game, criticize, smash, say negative things about the AAA, but if it's indie, you must be nice. No.
Shut up for a sec, Phil. I'll start shooting around 9:30 a.m. PA Pacific Standard Time on Friday. We'll try to go until 6 a.m. because I got plans around. Oh, okay. Okay, so let me think. I'll tell you what. The Friday stream, I'll stream tomorrow. Friday, I won't stream because, guys, I want Zombie Fan to get some love and support. So I'll cancel Friday stream, and I'll stream Saturday and Sunday and make up to you guys. But, again, definitely Friday, definitely tune in the Zombie Fans stream there, please, guys, because I guarantee it's going to be a blast.
Sorry, that's not who I am. That's not who I'm ever going to be. As you know, in the over 17 years that I've been a gaming content creator on YouTube, I've always told it like it is. I don't...
You mean complete nonsense and crap that nobody cares about?
Pull punches. I don't sugarcoat. I don't favor anything. I'm honest. And so, if I play a game and I feel...
Well, 12K bans already. Why am I not surprised when it comes to Phil?
That we are in some kind of a situation where the game is not representative or is misrepresenting what it is to try to get sales. If the game doesn't live up to expectations that has laid out for itself, okay? I'm going to be honest about it, all right? And you might say, well, what are you talking about? So yesterday I played Crizzle Theater of Souls, okay? It is an indie game. It's made by a small studio, although the game was funded by Blumhouse, a company that makes high-profile horror movies. This is one of their first actual investments in a video game.
As always,
okay?
Chef. He's always been contrarian.
Crizzle Theater of Souls presents itself in all of its promotional materials, notably its big launch trailer, as a game that's going to be high action, okay, with tons of weapons, abilities, variety of enemies, and scares, okay? When you play...
All right. You know what? We'll pull him to 1.5 because he's just taking too long to get to this damn point. I hate when he does this.
The game, the first hour to hour and a half is actually really good atmosphere building of laying out the story and the environment and the
Fall over the course of your YouTube career, you have burned bridges as good as... Exactly, Anthony. He's burned so many bridges that just about everyone on YouTube does not want to work with them. And what's even more sad is you got normies making fun about him. I mean, besides Sneeko, I've been catching a few other ones, so I'm going to leave nameless for now until they do content, because they did hint that they're going to start doing some content on Phil. So, good luck at this one, Phil. Hold on. Phil is used to being... Yeah, he's supposed to be the Casino Boys. That's true. That's true. Most reviews of Crystal has been positive. There are some negative reviews revolving around the graphic settings, I believe. Yeah, Dash Period, it has 1.2. I decided to move to 1.5 because he's just taking too long to get to his doggone point. And hold on. Crystal Reviews posit. There's some negative reviews revolving around the graphic setting. Mars Champion. Here's the funniest thing. I'm certainly sure there's gonna be mods around that to fix it because one thing we can count on the modding community is fixing a lot of games.
Elements of the things that the game's going to be. And then for the next 2 hours, the game is completely identical, doesn't try to do anything different, doesn't give you any new weapons, doesn't give you any abilities, doesn't even give you a single new enemy to fight. It just gives you the same regurgitated crap over and over. The game...
Phil, that's just about every game on the planet. They're going to do what's called a loop. They're trying to keep you entertained. That's the same thing in Street Fighter. That's the same thing in RimWorld and many other games. It's the same loop, but they want to make sure the loop is interesting and entertaining.
The game suffers from what you should be calling terrible pacing. Okay? Awful pacing. Whoever the game director...
I'd rather believe Mars Champion, Phil, than what's coming out of your mouth because no matter what, any game that you pick up, you're going to either say is no good until you start making your money.
Should have known better and say, hey, I understand atmosphere and building up suspense, but who wants to sit around for 3.5 hours with a single handgun shooting the same repetitive enemies over and over with almost no change in the environment, no change to gameplay mechanics? It's the same crap for 3.5 hours. It's boring.
I'd rather do that than to hear your mouth.
Okay? So I relayed that, not only in my stream of the game that I was playing, but also in my reaction video after the fact, where I clearly stated I feel the game is a bait and switch after 3.5 hours of gameplay.
Welcome aboard, David. How you doing? Welcome aboard the Firehawk. Phil thinks detractors are just evil, toxic people that are trying to make them. We are not even close to that. Here's the thing. We're not Wings trolls. We're not emo trolls. We're not Cyrex trolls. Listen, majority of us make fun of this idiot, but I guarantee you, guarantee you, if he was to pop it in public and one of us was saw him, be like, hey, it's the guy, something like that. Because in actuality, don't get me wrong, there's time when Phil does stuff that I want to slap him. But in actuality, I'm not going to do anything to him at this point in time because it's really not worth it at this point because I don't want to catch a charge. Now, if he comes up to me acting all macho man, then that's going to be a different story. What's more toxic, DSP or LTG? Ooh, that is a good one. That is a good one, Dashbeer. Currently, right now, currently, Phil. Don't get me wrong, LTG has his toxic as well, but Phil, because here's the thing, Phil has done a great job of going at LTG for the past few times and giving him easy dubs.
It says that, like right in the title of the video, so no one would get the impression that I actually played the entirety of this game. I played the first portion, and that's the impression I got, right? So basically, after having played this game, here's how the audience reacted. Very similar to how I reacted. Okay, the first hour and a half, we were intrigued.
In general, right now, that'll be LTG, because LTG has his really toxic moments. Like, for example, somebody come in, he said, you get that ass bad, stuff like that, or candy, stuff like that, or he'll force his chat to pay a lot of money to watch him on cam. In general, but currently, right now, DSP.
Setup, it's kind of creepy. The idea that two cults are going at each other is kind of interesting. All right. Then, when it's 2 more hours of the same, we all got bored. It wasn't just me saying that. Everyone watching the stream got literally bored of the game.
They were bored because you were playing it very boring. I saw what your chat was saying from the clips. They would tell you to turn the game off because you're not having fun with it.
We're like, this is just not it. You know, why you even keep playing this? It's so boring. It's the same thing over and over. And now here's the thing. I played 3.5 hours. Maybe if I played 5 hours or 6 hours, there would have been more to it. I mean, we found the shotgun. We just hadn't been able to unlock it yet. It looks like the game's going to force you to do a lot of gameplay and backtrack to get the shotgun. How many...
Phil, first and foremost, you take your sweet time with the game. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with you trying to take your time with the game. But any game you touch, Philip, it takes you 2 to 3 streams, and I know I'm exaggerating, just to get out the tutorial phase. Like, for example, when you was playing, when I was going over your Mass Effect, in Mass Effect 1, it took you nearly 2 streams from what I could see from This Is How You Don't Play to get off of, Eden Prime. For me, when I play Mass Effect many times, especially with Eden Prime, it took me no more than, 45 minutes to maybe an hour tops if I was exploring everything? And mind you, that's one of the easiest plans in the beginning of the game.
How many more weapons are there in the game? I don't know. Are there ever any more abilities in the game besides just refilling your bullets with blood? I don't know. But the thing is, in 2026...
Phil in general of all those 3. Because don't get me wrong, LTG, definitely Phil at that point, because... Wings, he has his moments too, but I mean, don't get me wrong, yeah, you push down his wife, but majority of the times he could be boring at times. RTU is very boring unless somebody's coming at him. Let's say like Ames come at him. And again, in general, I know I switch up a little bit DSP again because of current events, but naturality, Phil, LTG, yeah, he has his moments too.
Game developers need to understand
I know
one
I kinda
critical thing,
contradict
because it's
myself,
very
but we say
simple.
all of them
You
in
need to
general.
hook the
Yeah.
gamer within the first couple of hours to let us know
But
why
if you put just between LTG and Phil, it'll be LTG at that point.
we want to keep playing your game. You can't have an insanely long, drawn-out intro where you're building and building and building. We got better things to do, right? Our time is valuable, and we don't want to sit around waiting for there to possibly be a payoff when you're asking so much of us when it comes to time investment.
Well, that's the case, Philip. You could easily say, well, don't forget Wayne said it. Yeah. I almost forgot about that when he said that, and it was joking, which nobody should ever joke about that. And also, Phil, here's the sad part about it. If the game is boring to you, just tell your chat, this game's not for me, and move on.
Sorry, I want to know what's good about your game before I've invested 10 hours in it. I mean, we've talked about this time and time and time again over the years.
You said you already invested 3 hours into it, so there you go.
Do you remember
You invested some time
a
into
game
it, Phil.
that actually was really good, actually had great world design, interesting story, great gameplay elements, decent graphics, but flopped miserably? The game was called Days Gone, okay? The reason Days Gone flopped
Oh boy, here we go.
was because it was a zombie survival game with drama and survivors and different storylines set in a post-apocalyptic world. It was open world, it was third person, it had cool survival mechanics, combat mechanics, taking on giant mobs of zombies and things you've never really done in a game before. The problem was, it took over 12 hours of repetitive base destruction.
Mars, thank you. Thank you very much. As Mars Champion says, there are these random things called demos, Philip. It's a demo. It's supposed to demonstrate, so some things are going to change.
Gameplay before you got to the good parts. And most people tapped out before they played for 12 hours. Most game reviewers outright stated, we stopped playing this game because it's so boring within the first few hours. You need to have good pacing to have a game that's going to be successful in the modern era. Crizzle does not have that. It takes the opposite route, and it very well may have good elements later in the game. It doesn't matter, because, folks, what people need to start understanding, particularly game developers and even TV show writers, is that the most valuable asset in life at this point is not money, it's time. Crizzle is a cheap game. The game is under $20, and a lot of people have given me flack in this video that I made about Crizzle saying, Phil, you're being way too harsh. This isn't a AAA game that they're charging $70 for, and you're acting like that.
I know he didn't just say time. I know this fool did not just say time. When we see him many of times talk about how the game is boring because, number one, he didn't make his money. Or if he makes his money, then the game's okay. But in the following stream, the game doesn't make his money. He said the game is trash. The game is garbage. I know he ain't talking about that. It's number one. Number two, Phil, when you said these people talk about they're boring, I need receipts. I need names. I need to know who are these people that you're talking about. Because if you're talking about the four quarter demons in your head, then you can go with that. But goodness gracious, don't sit there and lie to me. Don't lie to my chat, please. Days Gone is a good game. Not amazing, but it's pretty good. There you go. I don't know too much about Days Gone. I mean, okay, the only thing I do know about it is it's a relatively decent game. Not the best, but it's a relatively decent game. That's as far as I know. Xbox, hold on, chat, hold on. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Xbox 360 gen was when the games the whole were very intermediate. Nowadays are modern AAA that's bogged down by every corpse. Yeah. When it came back to the 360 era and the PlayStation 3 era, you had a lot of developers, developers really pour into the game. Now it's just modern crap.
In this video, it's a game that's under $20. You should really give it a pass. No, you don't get a pass. It doesn't matter if your game costs $1, $15, $70, or $150. If your game is boring, it's always boring. I'm sorry, but I don't want to pay any money for a game that is boring and isn't a fun experience. Therefore,
Philip. How many times I said in my stream, and I said in other people's chat, it is your job to take crap and turn it into a successful dish. It is your job to take a bad game and make it look interesting. Matter of fact. Chat, hold on. We are going to take a quick detour. Because I want to show y'all something. I want to show you something really quick, chat. Don't worry. Give me a sec. I want to show y'all something. Oh, here we go. This is. Here we go. Let's choose something really quick, chat. Okay. You know what? Okay. Okay, I got one for you, chat. This won't be a long one. This won't be a long one, but I'll show you this one, chat. I'm gonna show you this. Obviously, this is Starfield, and I know Starfield has not been the greatest, but I just want to play a good 30 seconds of this. I want you to watch this, chat.
From orbiting spaceports to frontier worlds, trade shapes the settled systems, carrying resources, cargo, and ambition across the stars. To meet that demand, Linden Engineering Corporation introduces the CG-270 Anchor Light class, a dedicated light cargo hauler that serves as the entry point to LEC's CG line of cargo freighters, alongside the Class M CG-900 Star Anchor flagship and the multi-role CG-570 Delacour class freighter. Drawing from both platforms, the Anchor Light pairs a compact Class B transport with two modular forward-mounted bracing arms that can secure up to 6 Stormax containers. Along with its internal cargo hold, it can load up to 50 metric tons of cargo, delivering class-leading hauling capacity. A Type 7 grav reactor core powers the central SL-110 engine, which is augmented by cross-22 VTOL thrusters on each side of the ship, letting the Anchor Light maintain full load control, even on high-gravity worlds. With trade lanes often drawing unwanted attention, the Anchor Light is equipped with a capable defensive suite, including electro-pulse lasers with EM adapters for system disruption, and direct-fire Gatling guns for close-in protection. For higher-risk routes, an optional automated dorsal turret can be installed for additional security measures. A powerful Theta-class shield system projects outwards onto the bracing arms, providing overlapping coverage for both pilot and cargo. Designed for single-pilot operation on long-distance runs, the Anchor Light is fully self-sufficient, yet can accommodate extra crew or passengers when needed. Though it hauls a fraction of the Star Anchor's max load, the Anchor Light's 50 metric ton capacity more than triples the Delacour's output, while maintaining a similar compact profile.
I meant to say 30 seconds. That went on 2 minutes. Sorry about that, chat. I was getting so into it. But I wanted to show that, chat, because also the channel here I'm going to show quickly named Linden. And oh, damn, he's already at 7K subs. Here's the thing, chat. Obviously, again, it's Starfield. But this what I mean, for example, as a creator, he's taking something in a game that's not that great currently right now, and actually making videos and make it so entertaining and interesting that people are actually going to invest into that. That's what I mean, Philip. Somebody that's taking a bad, a mediocre. It's not a complete bad game, but a mediocre game at best. Taking it and find a way to make it entertaining. Look at how many views he got. He just released this yesterday, and he's already 950 views, and already at 85 likes. Matter of fact, let's go into Linden's playlist real quick. 7.3K views. Another Starfield modded ship that came out 3 months ago. 8.5 views. 8.5K views. Matter of fact, let's go into his playlist really quickly. Oh wow, he does a lot. Holy snaps. Okay, he's done a lot more than I thought. Okay, my bad. We'll just go into videos really quickly. What up, Lewis? What's going on? Oh, and I forgot he does No Man's Sky builds, 8.4K, 3K with the holy crap. I didn't know he make the SR normally too in Starfield. Anyways, again, I wanted to show that, chat, because again, it is up to the streamer, to the content creator, to the channel person, whatever you want to call them, to make whatever said game, no matter how bad it is, make it looking good and entertaining. As you guys saw, this dude took a ship, modding stuff, and turned into nearly a feature video of this, how you can get this type of ship. Again, I'm using it for example, but again, it's up to the streamer, the content creator, to make whatever bad game to make it look good. Too bad modern games aren't complete on the disc like they used to be during the Xbox 360. Gen O and patches, updates very quickly. Well, here's the funniest thing. David. I knew this was, I already know companies are trying to phase out disc altogether because they're trying to go for internet and stuff, and it really got excelled during COVID because people were obviously sheltered in, locked in and stuff. So they really couldn't get to they couldn't really make the disc they used to because there was a disc shortage. Would you play on stream Final Fantasy Remake or Rebirth on stream? It depends, Lewis. It really depends.
I have the right to criticize it. Now, the thing is, right now, in the gaming community and online, there is a mentality to say indie games are better because they're cheaper. Indie games are better because they're not AAA with giant bloated budgets, and they're not samey, and they don't copy what everyone else did and put out another game just for profits. Therefore, you should kiss their butt. No, I'm not going to do that. Frizzle is...
You already took a shot on completely when it comes to indie games as well before, Phil. And again, the reason why you're picking indie games up is you're hoping to make you a whole lot of money, but even still, then that's not guaranteed.
It's a game that presents itself as an action-packed, Bioshock-esque game when you watch its promotional materials. I didn't make the promotional materials, they did. So if they didn't want that game to look like that, they shouldn't have presented it like that. Seriously, they actually...
You do realize the majority of indie titles are made at home. I mean, at home by people either had whatever studio, whatever setup they had, or if they do have a team, it's a very tiny team. They don't have a backing of a company. They don't have a backing of, let's say, like Bungie or EA or Microsoft. They don't have that kind of backing, so they have to make use of whatever tech they have at that time.
You should have just shown a few statues.
Why does he have Croc on that monitor? Hold on. He has what? I have no idea. I just now noticed that. Thank you for pointing out, Lewis. I don't even have the slightest idea why he does. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I play Wii Sports. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, definitely. Hey, that's the type of Wii I want to hear.
Like enemies, and the guy shooting, and some dramatic scenes, and that would have been the trailer. Now, that trailer would have looked boring because the game's boring. But it would have been representative of what the game is, and then I wouldn't have called...
As I just shown, Phil, again, I hate repeating myself. It is up to you, Philip, to take a bad game and make it look interesting. Again, as I showed Lyndon's content over here, and big ups to him. He literally, again, taking a mediocre game, taking the ships in there and making them very interesting. The way he present his content, like, good Lord, again, it is your job to take a matter of fact, let's forget about Starfield. For example, there are people still playing, let me think of a really, not like a bad game, but let's say, okay, for example, people are still playing Fallout 4. Again, not the worst Fallout, well, it's not the worst Fallout game in my opinion, but the game didn't live up, to somewhat, but it didn't really excel the way, let's say, Fallout 3 did, and people are still playing Fallout 4. People are still streaming that. So again, it's up to the content creator to make it entertaining. Most indies don't get the luxury of exactly. Thank you, Mars Champion. Exactly. They have to do whatever budget they have, whatever tech they have at that time, and make use of it.
The bait and switch.
Definitely, they will hold up. Even after 20 years, they still going to hold up.
But it is a bait and switch. When you present the game in a different way.
Okay, Phil, how's this going to be a bait and switch?
That's not representative of what the actual gameplay loop will be.
Thank you, Dasher. Even that, people are still playing Minecraft this very day. Still modded. People playing Doom, the original Doom, modded. People are playing a lot of these older games still to this very day and making them modded. And they're still making streams about them. Again, they're making them very entertaining.
And again, it doesn't matter if the game is cheap or expensive. If it's not fun, I'm going to tell you that. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Frizzle is just not fun. Maybe.
Okay, chat. Let me ask you this question. I hate to do this. When it comes to, let's say, somebody reviewing a game, would you rather listen to IGN or Phil? Because I can tell you right now, as much as I don't like IGN, I'd rather listen to them than this moron. People are still playing Smash Bros. For the GameCube. And actually, you know what? Before I forget, you've been around here a while, Dashbeer, so congratulations on your mod ship. You've been around here for a while. Another benefit of owning an Xbox 360 game is the frames per second boost with the 4K on the Xbox Series X, insanely powerful. Console's capability of playing the old Xbox 360 game. Hey, that's actually what's up. That's actually what, David. I still have my old, what's up, Christian? How you doing? Welcome to the Firehawk. I still have my old 360 there, and it still works. It's the funniest thing. When you go to full PC, you kind of forget about consoles. Exactly, Chad. I'm sorry, exactly. As much as I can't say IGN, I would rather listen to IGN over this clown. Phil's stakes are entirely based around, hey, thank you, my champion, if he makes 150 or not.
If I kept playing, it would have gotten to fun parts, much like Days Gone, where you had to play 12 hours through this grindy intro crap to get to the good parts. But that's not my fault or my problem. It's the game developer's problem, because they have a game that's so boring up front. I bet most people who buy it will play it for 2 hours, say, what is this crap, and never touch
I'm a learn, I already beat this dead horse as many times.
it again. Now, you might say that's not a big deal because the game's only $15. Yes, it is.
Oh, you still have your PlayStation 3 there, Anthony? Is it still in great condition?
Because you've wasted 2 hours of your time. You've already made that purchase. And most people were going to be like, well, it's not a big deal because it's not expensive, but you still shouldn't get ripped off. And if you bought that game thinking it is going to be like the trailer, you got ripped off. Doesn't matter that it was cheap. That's still your money and your time that has been wasted. A lot of people just don't seem to value time
Kind of like how you are because you're not valuing your audience time.
well enough anymore. You have to understand we have one life to live on this planet. The older I get, the more I realize my time is more valuable than ever before because I have less of it than ever before on Earth. Therefore,
You got plenty of it because you don't do anything other than stay at home and play video games very poorly while drinking gin all day long drinking gin all day long while at the same exact time going over your phone, see what the tractor's up to, playing W Champions, ordering DoorDash, not spending time with your fat wife, and pretty much doing the same thing at the very next day. And also staying up until 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning, drunk tweeting to people that don't even care about you, Phil. That do not even give a doggone about you. So let's get that straight. The Zelda franchise 40. Wait. Oh, they sold 40. Got GameCube 35. The used 12. Wait. So the Zelda franchise is 40 years old. GameCube is about 35 years old. The Wii and the Twilight Princess are 20 years old. Okay, I got it. Yes, about to find a new PlayStation 3 controller. I think you could. This could be kind of rough. You might need to check eBay. I don't think Amazon have them selling, but Amazon may sell them, but they're gonna be pretty expensive because GameCube's 25. Okay, Phil, you got nothing but time. Thank you. Exactly. He's got nothing but time. The Super Nintendo is 35 years old. The 64 is 30 years old. Wait, really? Holy crap! I didn't realize that far apart. Phil's in a position of a broke 20-something in his 40s, no money, and exactly, Christian, exactly.
or I don't want to waste my time on crap. And if the game is boring, it's crap. The game is boring in my opinion. It's crap. I don't think.
Hold on. Phil.
My time is more valuable.
I'm gonna point out 1.2 because he actually says something. He says a little truth there, a little bit of truth there. A little bit.
Than ever before because I have less of it than ever before on Earth. Therefore, I don't want to waste my time on crap. And if the game is boring, it's crap. The game is boring in my opinion.
In my opinion. So wait a minute, chat. Again, a little quick detour. Just a quick one. Because we know how Phil is. We know how retarded he is. But let's look up the words my opinion. Really quick. All right, the word my opinion meaning. Okay, a view of judgment or form about something, not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. Oh my goodness, Phil. And let's look down the second one. The beliefs or a view of a large number or majority of people about a particular thing. Okay, that could be like that. An estimate of quantity of worth of something or of someone or something. A formal statement of advice by an expert. Well, he's definitely not that, not professional manner. But regardless of that, I wanted to point this out, chat, because again, the first one is very important to Phil. You should read this. A view or judgment formed about something, but not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. So, in other words, Phil, when you say it's my opinion, okay, that's your opinion, but that's not fact or knowledge. So again, what you're saying, Phil, is a load of crap that people will not have to take and not have to listen.
It's crap. I don't think that people should be fooled into thinking anything otherwise. So I made a video explaining that, but somehow I did it wrong. No, I didn't. You're doing it wrong if you're blindly defending the game because it's an indie game that's cheap.
Hold on.
There is no.
What Sony did during the PlayStation 3 was terrible, overexpensive. Yeah, they did do that. They did that when the launch of the PlayStation 3. Yeah, Sony took a massive hit, and then over the years they finally fixed it. But that's because they had to do some changes at at the top, and that because I forget the guy's name who was part of I forget the exact guy's name who was part of Sony at the time, who Sony did fired. Microsoft picked up, and Microsoft had a blunder with the Xbox One and then fired him. It's the same person, but I can't remember his name. But yeah, thanks to him, that's what happened with the PlayStation 3. Like that, everything is lined up perfectly. Exactly. When DSP mentioned Days Gone by calling its build-up an atmosphere like Mass Effect, see, I gotta look more into Days Gone. Hey, that's what they're all that, zombie fan. Definitely take your time, get some food, and enjoy yourself. My time is value equals any time not spent on WWE Champions is because exactly, Christian, exactly. Thank you for pointing out. Anytime he's not spending time on WWE Champions, it's time wasted. And the Oracle games are also 25. Ooh, wow! I forgot about those games. You know what? Hey, hit on. You know who would defend the? Oh yeah, that moron. I know, Harmon Smith. I done a video of him before. That's the same dude that defended Phil. Yeah, I know who that is. That doggone Nintendo fanboy. It was like $100 at lunch. Oh, Lord have mercy.
No reason whatsoever to be defending anything because it's cheap or made by a small studio. It still needs to be good. Crizzle is not. That's my opinion. If you disagree, you have a right to do that. But
we definitely disagree. I disagree. My chat disagree. The whole YouTube disagree when it comes to your opinions, Philip.
But to criticize my opinion and say it's invalid, I'm being too harsh because
No, it is. It is because you didn't give the game a chance.
Treating it like it's a AAA game is incredibly ignorant. Bottom line. Okay? So listen, it's fine. It is what it is. If people want to disagree, go for it. They already are. And there's nothing I can do about that. If you like Crizzle, good for you. All I know is I was bored of it, and so was the audience.
They were bored with it because you was making the game boring. That's the reason why they wanted you to stop playing, because it's like, dude, you're making it boring, not the game itself.
Everyone in the chat was bored as hell. So why on earth am I in the wrong by making a video just resonating that feeling in verbal form for 10 minutes?
Because, again, Phil, you said in your opinion, and again, when it comes to opinion, that's just based on what you believe, but not fact or knowledge.
Anyway.
Sony is still celebrate its big 80-year anniversary. Wait, Sony's been around for 80 years? Holy crap, I didn't know that. I know they've been around for a decent time, but I didn't realize they'd been down for nearly 80 years. Holy crap.
So that's what happened yesterday in regards to Crizzle. All right? And so you can watch the videos. By the way, almost no one...
No, you don't need to watch the video. Just know this is a load of crap.
One has. To give you perspective here, my video about Crizzle, which is 10 minutes long, already has over 1,500 views and climbing in like 15 hours that it's been live. Okay? The actual gameplay of Crizzle, the 3.5 hours, the first part has like 400.
Because your opinion's bad and you should feel bad. Exactly. Wait, they've been established since 1946? Huh? I didn't know that. Dash me, I didn't know that. I thought they were established around, like, in my opinion, in the 70s. I didn't know they got established around near the 40s. Holy crap.
The other two parts barely have 200, if that. People started watching, said, wow, this is boring, and literally never continued to watch because the game is boring.
No, Philip. No. That is incorrect. That is very incorrect. The reason why most people stopped watching wasn't because of the gameplay, but they stopped watching because your gameplay. Again, you did nothing to make it entertaining. People click off that. Again, they only watch to see how bad it was going to be because, again, any game you touch, you make very boring. Again, Rimworld. Sorry, chat. Rimworld, excuse me. He made that game boring. COD he made boring away, even though he was playing the multiplayer. Doom the Dark Ages he made boring. Baldur's Gate 3 he made boring. So whatever game he touched, he makes boring because he has no way of making it entertaining.
So again, the results actually match what I'm saying about the game. I'm not wrong. You're just too lenient on indie games, and you need to stop. Because what'll happen is now.
No, I'd rather play indie games than to listen to you. Oh, not that one. Nintendo from the late 800s, literally been around since. Okay. Oh, wow. Really? Holy crap. 1889? Holy crap. I did not know that. When Sony dipped its toes into the electric with the rice cooker. See, I didn't know about that. I didn't know. Wait, they did that too? You know what, chat? While I'm at work, I'm about to do a little research at both Sony and Nintendo. I didn't realize doing all that. I just know them for making movies and gamings and all that stuff. I didn't know Sony. Well, not Nintendo, but Nintendo's known for car games. I do know that. But I didn't know Sony was into that too. I'm about to do a little more research in both these two. You know, just a little side research just to get a better understanding of both Sony and Nintendo's history.
Everyone apparently needs to be so nice to indie games that we just gotta say they're all good. No. Absolutely not. In fact, it should be the polar opposite here, because now there's so many indie games that are clamoring for your attention and dollar, because now AAA games are floundering and failing. Now indies are getting their shot. You need the voice of reason to cut through all of this crap to tell you what's good and what's not.
And if you're the voice of reason, then I'd rather go ahead and stick my head into the toilet and flush it 3 times.
You don't need everyone telling you every indie game is great. I mean, sure, I could have kissed Crizzle's butt. I should have said, oh, look, the graphics are quite...
Hey, boss, question out of your context. Will you show us a toy of your hat? Hey, pray. The dent that's just sent him money. Here's your answer. No.
quite good for a cheap game, right? Can you imagine?
Exactly. It needs to stop the cap.
Imagine that this game looks so good on such a small budget and it's an indie game. Yeah, I could have just sat here and just said that or said, ooh, the creepy atmosphere. Yeah, those are the two good things about Crizzles, the graphics and the atmosphere. But the gameplay is boring. So I'm not going to lie about that to you. I'm sure a lot of people do. They just sit there and they act like they're almost like promoters of this indie, style of game because this is what's the hot thing to do right now. No. If you want me to cover more games and you want me to cover indie games, you have to expect...
Actually, no. What I want you to do is just shut up and play the game.
The same level of transparency and the same level of criticism that I give any other game that I used to play. And just because it's popular to say AAA games suck right now doesn't mean that I'm going to say every indie game is amazing too. Okay? So there you have it. That's what I have to say about my coverage of Crizzle. You can enjoy the 10-minute video if you just want to see my...
Again, I'm gonna save everyone's time in this. Don't watch it. It's a load of crap. Don't even bother with it. If you want to look more into that game, watch other people that actually cover it a lot better than Philip.
Summarized thought. You can watch the raw gameplay if you so choose. It seems like no one is so choosing that, okay? Because basically everyone agreed who watched it was fucking boring, so no one's even bothering watching.
Again, they said it was boring because you made it boring. How many times I gotta repeat this?
The gameplay. Just saying, okay?
Good Lord, Mercy.
Okay, now, let's do some shout-outs for contributions, and then I want to get asked off.
No.
A $10 tip from someone who says, this is exactly why I actually support you, because you keep... I'm never going to be the guy that's a butt kisser for any reason whatsoever. I have jerked everything into which, based on my 3 point... I'm not... L84 Prey, who did a CZK50 super chat. Okay, hold on, there's a lot of work here. CZK to USD, and it's what, 50? So it's $2.45. No. I've learned that separating my work from my... which I am planning on hopefully doing sometime to show to the public. Perhaps I would... This is out of context, but will you show a tour of your house in the future? Much appreciated. No, I will not. Maybe in the future, I would choose to reveal...
There you go. Just like I told the idiot, it's going to be a no. But let's see what Phil says here really quickly.
...certain parts of my home that I feel are safe to...
Princess Loaded. Indie games are like food trucks. There are so many and only the good ones survive, in my opinion. Luna, go jump off a tree in Minecraft.
Show to the public, perhaps when I set up my...
Well, actually, go climb a tree and then hang, and then... No, actually, no, they had... Go climb a cliff and jump off it in Minecraft.
My workout room, which I am planning on hopefully doing sometime this year. I could show you my machine that I'm using to do, extra...
There's so many indie games because it's easier than ever to make games. Even AAA's was doing that. Yeah, exactly. It's so much easier these days. Like, for example, chat, with my current PC, can I make an indie game? Absolutely. It's just, I just got to find the time of doing that, and I have to figure out what type of indie game would I want to make. Samsung started as a humble little grocery store back in 19... Wait. Samsung was a grocery store in the 1938s? Really? I didn't know there was a grocery store. I never knew that. I just know Samsung making phones and electronics. I did not know they were a grocery store back in the 1938s. I mean, 1938. See that, chat? Look how you can learn something. Fast forward to today, they have refrigerators that holds groceries that comes in full circle. Well, shoot. I never knew they were a grocery store back in 1938. That's news to me.
Exercises and stuff like that, perhaps, maybe not. I'm not promising anything. That's why I don't mention it. Because I've learned that separating my work from my personal life has...
Which you can never do.
...dramatically increased my safety and my enjoyment of life.
Your safety and enjoyment of life, even though last year you did a great job doxing your information with your Switch 2s.
Because if I share everything, then people use that to hurt me. And
Phil. Again, the only person that hurts you is yourself.
I know that
Actually, so you get a job.
I've gone into detail a million times about this, so I'm not...
You dirty kaiju.
Going to go into detail about it on today's show. But basically, what's in this room stays in this room and gets broadcast to the internet. What's outside of this room is my personal business to be shared with my wife, my cat, and my immediate family. Like my parents know everything that goes on in my house, but that's about it. No.
Phil, you barely talk to your parents. You only talk to them once a week. Actually, not even that, chat. Not even that. And when it comes to Kat, she half the time. Well, again, my opinion, she's not there. But let's say she is there. She doesn't care anything what she does, anyways.
No one else needs to know anything that's.
And it comes to your cat's just being a cat
in this house. You don't need to know about the giant mountain of cocaine that I have in my spare bedroom. Okay.
One sec, chat. One sec.
All right, y'all.
Oops. Sorry, chat. Sorry. Where is it? I know I have it saved somewhere. Give me a sec, chat. Give me a sec. Here we go. Phil, could you say
none of your
that
business.
one more time? As a matter of fact, let's turn it down to 1.2. Phil, could you say that one more time?
To be shared with my wife, my cat, and my immediate family. Like, my parents know everything that goes on in my house, but that's about it. No one else needs to know anything that's in this house. You don't need to know about the giant mountain of cocaine that I have in my...
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
spare bedroom. Okay, that's none of your business. Okay.
Your safety. Oh my God. The only thing that the detectives haven't hurt you is your feelings, baby boy. And the funny thing is, Christian, the only person that hurts his feelings is himself because he does a great job exposing his own dumb self. I'm at my job and I Discord. Come score up. Oh, don't you worry. You're lucky today. I can't get in Discord because otherwise I would show up and we would square up and we do the old-fashioned way. And exactly, I think not funny, didn't laugh. With technology side of Samsung, they made a bunch of chunk of hardware for the Korean military and government. I forgot they did that. I did forget about that. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say Jasper's sleeping because he's a cat. Exactly. He's just a cat doing cat things. Just like how my cat's on my bed sleeping right now. Samsung's main headquarters in South Korea is so yeah. They are true. That is the main headquarters in South Korea. Excuse me.
But will I ever show parts of it? Perhaps, if I decide to. I now have the means. You know, I can use my camera, I can use my microphone, I can use my selfie stick, and I can film around the house to show you stuff if I wanted to. So maybe I will eventually, but as of now, the answer is no. Princess Luna, thank you for a $5 super chat, which is our biggest one of the day. First of all, let's get that on the leaderboard. Let's see what Princess Luna has to say, okay?
As you always like to say, no. Who cares, Philip?
Okay.
Honestly, who has developed tech for the military at this point?
Okay, so Princess Luna says indie games are like food.
To answer that question, who hasn't done that? Unless you haven't lived on the rock, most countries have technology developed for the military.
Trucks. There's now so many, only the good ones survive, in my opinion. That's what's happening now, because it didn't used to be like that. Now, there are literally so many games coming out in a given week, right? Just this week. You know, I'm looking for a new game for the rotation. It's like, okay, so Crystal came out, but so did Mugenics. But so did Romeo Must Die. But so did...
Then we see Phil's DSP condo back in the day. Exactly. And guess who showed that? Himself. Again, chat, I know I said it, and many other detractors say it. Phil's biggest number one detractor is not Duty, it's not Tevin, it's not even Keemstar, it's not even not LTG, it's not even Kingdom Casino. Phil's biggest detractor is Philip Bonnell.
There's another one, too, that just dropped, and now supposedly Marathon might have a demo, but then you got this going. I was like, wait, what? There's like 7 options. Like, how do I choose what I'm supposed to be doing on my streams when there's so much going on? When you have so much selection, you need someone to cut through all of that to tell you what they think and if it's your cup of tea or not.
Hold on. And sorry if I go do that in your ears, chat. Do apologize. Hold on. I gotta get better at this. Hold on. Okay, better. Sorry about that, chat. I'm gonna get better at this. Phil, nobody needs to tell me that. I could do that all by myself. If I look at a game and the game does not look interesting to me, I'm not gonna pick it up. Again, I could easily look up, for example, when it comes to, let's say, Mass Effect related, I'm gonna look at it for myself to see how it is. Or anything Doom related, I'm gonna look at it for myself to see how it is. And if that product is not gonna be good for me, or should I say that game is not gonna look good to me, I'm not gonna pick up. For example, chat. You remember Fallout? What was it? Was it Fallout? The MMO one. Was it 73, I think it was? Anyway, 77, one of those two. When I saw it came out, I looked into it. I'm like, yeah, This Fallout is not for me. Again, Philip, I can easily do the research myself. It's not difficult to do.
You don't need someone to say, oh, Crizzle is an indie darling. It's amazing that on an under $20 price tag, they have these graphics. Who cares about the fucking graphics if the game is boring? Right? Who cares? So that's the point I'm making. I'm glad that you're seeing my point, Princess Luna, that we need to be honest about this crap, or else what we're going to end up with is we're going to have a completely anti-AAA mentality and a completely every single indie is great mentality, and you'll never know what's good. It's going to be just as bad as when it was just AAA, where everyone says everything's good, everything kisses everyone's butt, and now you can't determine what game you to spend your money and time on. You don't need that. You need honesty, and that's what I'm going to strive to do this year right here on this channel. Cover more games and be honest about these games and let you know what I think. There might be games that I absolutely love that you actually hate. There might be games that I actually hate that you love, and that's okay. You know who I am. You know my feelings. You know how I have these certain, affinities for certain kinds of things in video games. I think a lot of people know my likes and dislikes at this point. So
yeah, your dislikes is that you hate every single game unless you're making money.
So honesty is the best policy. Okay, thank you for the support. All right. Oh, I was just going to go to the next point, and typical average gamer did a $2 super chat and says, did you see anything about Crimson Desert? Oh, yeah, we reacted to the trailer of it a few weeks ago. The game, to me, looks amazing, but also kind of looks too good to be true. And what I mean by that is there's so much in that game that looks great.
Blah, 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 blah. Whatever, Philip.
You have to wonder if it's all true, if it's all fully fleshed out, or, and this is more likely the case, if a lot of it that looks great on paper actually
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Hopefully I'm making your lunch break at least entertaining, unlike Phil's retarded ass.
doesn't factor into the gameplay at all. Meaning, there could have the best crafting system ever made. It could have an amazing flight system where you fly around the map on mounts, and then none of that has to do with the actual game. It's in there, but you don't have to use it to do anything. You know what I mean? Like, you just play the game and beat it without any of that crap. Like, it could be the next Starfield, where on paper Starfield might look good. Oh, you could.
I'm gonna bring out my inner Penjatalia. Okay, I know what that is. I forgot about that person. Exactly. He does need to shut up.
Craft your own ship. Oh, you could have colonies on planets and mine resources, and you never have to do any of that in the game. It's just there to say that there's content, and the content doesn't mean anything, right? So I guess we'll see when the game comes out next month. I'm excited to try it for sure. It may be a super immersive game with tons to do, and it might be one of the best games in a long time. Or it might stink. We'll find out firsthand together, okay?
Oh, I know what's going to happen, Phil. If the game does not make you money, you go sit it's a ban world.
Okay. So now let's get to the other thing that I want to talk about yesterday's first stream, all right? So yesterday...
boy, here we go. Once again, recapping about yesterday.
I played Crizzle Theater of Idols. This was a game that it was going to be a kind of, ooh, let's test the waters. Let's see if the game's any good. It was, essentially, yes, a first part of a playthrough if I decided to start playing the game fully, but also it was kind of a first look stream, if that makes sense, where a lot of content creators do this. They essentially test the waters of a game and they call it first look, rather than playthrough or I'm actually playing this game. That way, if they decide against continuing, no one says, oh, you're playing it, now you're dropping it. Well, no, I never was playing it. It was just a first look, okay? So, in regards to that,
sorry,
all right,
Chad,
yesterday, when I was playing Crizzle,
Panther, you're going to get banned for that one. You have a lesbian haircut.
conducted myself a little different.
I'm doing some grocery shopping at the moment. Unlike Phil, it's not. Hey, there you go. Hey, Rainbow, that's actually pretty good because you're doing something very important. The Ford Mustang. It wasn't named after the horse. It was named after a. What? Hold up. It was named after a plane? I thought it was named after a horse. Okay, that's news to me, Dashtree. I didn't know about that neither. I did not know about that.
Differently than I normally would. Does anyone actually know up front what it was? I'm just curious if any of you actually figured out what the difference was between the Crizzle stream and a normal stream. Let's see if anyone in chat can get it. I'm very curious.
Okay, difference is simple. Boring. You was boring, Philip.
I'm going to give it a minute because remember, the chat's delayed. I'm just curious. Someone got it already. Kimikaze actually just hit it on the head. She said, there was no asking for money. You're right. If you go back and you watch the entirety of the time that I was streaming Crizzle on this stream, which was 3.5 hours, okay? You're going to notice that not one time, not once, did I actually ask for a financial contribution whatsoever.
Also note when it comes to, Also note when he talks about views, he never compares it to other streamers' view counts for the same game and time because he knows other streamers and entertainers for their time. For their fans. Exactly so. That's another thing that Phil does. I'm glad you pointed that one out too. And the fact of it is, I'm sorry, I'm a little confused with Phil said. He's like, you didn't beg for money. Phil, you done that before. You literally done that before. Again, buddy. What Phil fails to realize, people already gave him a lot of money last week for doing his marathon, the so-called Super Bowl marathon, which was not a Super Bowl marathon. It wasn't a Valentine's marathon. It was just a games conference, whatever you want to call it, marathon. And he still didn't make his. Honestly, he didn't really make his goal because he only made 600 at the. Well, not even 600. Excuse me, Chad. Maybe 450 at the end of the day. Tops. That's just about it. And the sad part about it is Phil has realized people gave him enough money. Again, maybe if he would stop. Again, he stopped begging. Maybe if he was a better content creator, people might actually give him a bit more money. But he has to realize money does not grow on trees. It's not like that. And during this time, the economy, things are getting bad. It's getting more expensive these days. Like, for example, the price of eggs went up again.
Now, I did ask for engagement. I said, hey, the first part of the playthrough is the most important one. If you're on stream, please like the stream to get more engagement for the channel. If you're watching this on demand, please like the video and leave comments. What are you thinking about the game? Do you like it? Do you not? That will help this channel tremendously. I definitely said that, but not a single time did I actually say, hey, open your wallets. Send me some super chats. Send me some kicks. Send me some tips. Send me some members. Send me some subs. I never said that whatsoever. I never even mentioned the ways that you can contribute. I just acted like you couldn't. Okay?
Spoiler, he's done this before, Chad. He's done this because he's trying to throw, again, he wants to throw the detractors off, but we know what's going on. And here's another spoiler, Chad. During his second stream, when he was playing Street Fighter, he went right back to begging, so no surprise there. I call BS on him not asking money. Here's the funny thing, Mars Champion. He's done this before. He wanted to do an experiment again, even though he's trying to throw the detractors off. We know what he's doing. He's going to just throw us off. Because again, during his second stream, he went right back to begging. And goes, there's only 2 streams worth. Well, that too. In the world of My Little Pony Generation 4, there are a bunch of ponies called this Wonderbolts, and they're inspired by the Blue Angels. One of them name is Spitfire. Yeah, that's what I heard. I remember about the Spitfire. That's supposed to be the the World War II plane. I forgot about that one because I know about the Spitfire. Because I actually had to do a little research when I had to do some history back when I was in high school. I remember that.
Okay? Now, the thing is, I've done this before. All right? I've done this before. And the last time that I did it, people gave me shit for it because they said, well, it wasn't fair. Why? Well,
huh? Wait, what?
Basically, I think it was like the day before, I'd done a marathon. And I guess during the said marathon, I had actually done pretty good. It was like a marathon where a lot of people had supported or whatever. Okay? And so they said, you know, that's not a fair experiment to see what would happen because a lot of people had given a lot of support the day before. Therefore, the day after a very successful marathon where everyone basically unloaded with support, you're going to have less support. Now, the first time that I...
Yes, you're going to have less support because, again, people already blew their money at that point, and then you expect them to give you more money the following day.
I tried this last year. You want to know how much money I made? Because I told Asmongold in our actual interview back in November, I made $30. The entire stream where I didn't ask for...
Once again, make it all about money.
...for anything, I made $30 for over 5 hours of streaming. Okay? Not even $10 an hour, right?
You should be grateful that at least you made something.
But everyone says that wasn't valid. Fair enough. Let's try it again, but let me try it on a day when absolutely no one will be expecting it whatsoever.
That's a lie because, again, the second stream, you went right back to begging.
And on a day where it's going to be an interesting strategy because of the game that I was playing.
Again, you went right back to begging on the second stream. How many times I got to point that out?
Yesterday when I played Crizzle, this was the very first time ever that I played this game. And very much we were testing the waters to...
No, you've done this before because, again, you're trying to throw detractors off, but we know what you're up to, Phil.
See if people like the game and if this was going to be a playthrough that I was going to do in the future. Now, let's be honest. There is a pattern when it comes to the levels of support that I receive on a stream. And the pattern is usually, if you really like the game I'm playing, and if I really like the game I'm playing, I'm having a great time, that comes through on the stream, and you support it. That's not...
Again, Philip, it is not your chat's obligation to give you money. Again, when you was playing the game, again, from what I saw from the clips, you look bored with the game. Just like how you always... You know how Phil always has that bored look face, like he's about to fall asleep? That same look, that's number one. Number two, again, it is not your chat's job to give you money. Again, Phil, if times are hard and you're having a hard time financially, this is the perfect opportunity to get a job.
Always the case. For example, Street Fighter 6 right now is getting massive support, and I basically destroy the game every time I play it, saying how bad it sucks, right?
No, you get destroyed each and every time. And again, spoiler for those who may not have seen his Street Fighter 6 gameplay yesterday, he played Dawson. He lost a lot more than he actually won.
The thing is, there's
and yes, there was a lot of salt. And big ups to Ryjek for restreaming that yesterday.
entertainment value there in seeing me rage and try to persevere against a game that I really don't like that much, right? But for the most part, take a look at games right now such as Hollow Knight, which I absolutely am loving and liking more the more I play it, and RimWorld, which at first I was really having a hard time with, but now that I've learned this stuff, okay, and I know the basic mechanics, and I'm still learning, and I have this great interactive time with you.
Hold on. Oh, I missed something. My bad, chat. DSP's YouTube is like playing Mass Effect, but you're going to get a full Renegade. That's a nice one. And one of the members, his name is Surprise, nod to G1 Pony, who is inspired by Pinkie Pie. Ooh, good point out there, Dashpear. The pattern is you begging every time when you start a stream. Exactly, Mars Champion. Phil, we are not getting McDonald's. No. Rainbow, he's not getting Burger King because he cannot get it his way.
Guys, every time, tons of engagement as people try to help me with the game. I really enjoy myself. Even though it's stressful as hell, it's still good. It's entertaining. It's fun. People like it. They support it, right? So, knowing far well that I was playing a game where I didn't know if I was going to like it. I didn't know if you were going to like it. I thought in my head, man, here's the thing. I could ask for support on this stream. And to be honest with you guys, I know for a fact, 100% proven fact, if I had asked for support on yesterday's Crizzle stream, I would have received more. I may not have gotten a ton, all right? But I absolutely guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, if I had said, come on, let's get some support. I'm covering more indies this year. I'm showing you what's good and what's not. If you like this new effort, you'll like the fact that I'm playing more games, support this channel. If you like all the changes and improvements I've made, you like the content, support the channel. And people would have supported. I would have got memberships. I would have got some subs. I would have got some tips. I would have. It probably wouldn't have been an overwhelming amount. No one's going to quote, oh, I don't really like the game Phil's playing, but I'm still going to overwhelmingly open my wallet and support the stream. That wouldn't have happened, okay? But I would have got more. 100%.
Oh my god. This greedy son of a bitch. Fill up. What you fail to realize. Number one, I forgot to point this in this stream. I'll say it right here. Remember how you said there are no more goals? Remember when you said that last year after the Asmon rub? You never demolished them. You decided to wrap them up in a bow and try to put it up in a different way. Again, you still have goals. You haven't mentioned in a while because you're trying to hide it. We know what you're doing. Because here's the thing. If you do not reach 150, the game is a failure. If you do not even reach it close to, the game is a failure. If the game, let's say, is a 10-star rating, 10-star rating, best graphics, best music, best atmosphere, best whatever. If you do not reach 152, the game is bad. And again, your little so-called experiment, the sad part about it is you've done this before. And again, I actually like it when he's not begging because it's like, see, Phil, this is how you're supposed to play the game. And it's up to you to build up entertainment so where slowly people can actually give you AKA support. But again, it's not their obligation to give you money. And here's the sad part about it, Phil. You said, well, if I beg, then I'm actually get my money, get my money, reach my support. Phil, there's some plenty of times where you beg and you did not reach your goals. Matter of fact, last month, you missed a lot of goals. You did some hardcore begging. Matter of fact, Monday, you did a lot of hardcore begging for the first 3 hours of that first stream. So again, Philip, it doesn't matter if you're begging or not, unless it's the beginning of the month, then you actually will reach your goal. But as soon as you get near the middle of the month, when people's bank accounts are pretty tight, you're gonna miss a lot of goals. Oh, exactly. He does need to shut up. We're sitting there at 12. Why am I not surprised? 12K bans already. Good Lord mercy. Well, 12K, 124K bans. Why am I not surprised? How long did it take for DSP to be Oh God. Anthony, I had to pull it up. It took him 2 streams to get out of it took him 2 streams to be Eden Prime because he kept BSing.
Right? There you go. Now, what did this result in? What was the result of the experiment? And how did I feel it went? And how should I conduct myself moving forward? Let's talk about that. So the result of the experiment was as follows. By the end of the stream, again, me not asking for support, I got about $80 of support. I want to say it was like $82 or something like that. Okay? Is that the worst stream I've ever had? No. In fact, to be honest, I had a worse stream on Sunday night when I did the double indie stream of Sharks and Minnows and Terminator 2D No Fate. The reason for that is very simple. I already played those games multiple times. In the case of Terminator 2, we were already beat it multiple times. We were just trying to see the final ending, which actually wasn't even worth the time, actually. You know, and so you're going to get some initial interest in a game like that. You're not going to get an audience coming back a million times and throwing money at it. You know what I'm saying? So it actually wasn't even the worst stream that I had done recently, okay? But it certainly wasn't great. No one was showering me with support because I didn't ask for it, all right? There is a absolutely, positively, direct correlation between how much I ask for support and how much I get. 100%, there is undisputed evidence that if I ask for support, I will get more. And if I don't ask for support, I will get less, all right? So then why didn't I ask for support yesterday? Didn't I want more? Yes, I did. Of course I did. Of course I did. Come on. Let's be honest here. We all want more support. We all could use more support, right? So why didn't I ask for it? Well, there's two reasons, okay? One reason is because if I was going to play Crizzle and I was actually going to try to gauge audience interest in the game fairly, all right? The very first stream is the stream where you need to see if people are liking what they're seeing. And if you're saying, hey, support the stream, and people shower you with support, that could artificially inflate the level of positivity that the game actually deserves. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, let's say I was halfway through the stream and I was like, oh, guys, come on, we're only at like $60 of support. Let's go, let's get some subs. And then someone feeling, you know, I'll help Phil, they drop 10 subs, right? And so I'll help Phil and I drop a $50 tip. Now all of a sudden, I got like $200, right? It's like, oh, well, you see, Crizzle did well. Well, no, in reality, Crizzle's the same game. It's not that good. It's still boring. But people might have showered me with support because I asked for it. So if you do that on the first stream of any game, you're basically artificially inflating its popularity. Does that make sense? I think it does. If the premier stream of any game that I play, whether it's an indie game, whether it's a AAA game, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if I had done that yesterday, I wouldn't have been doing the right thing. And therefore, it would have not made sense because now, let's say the Crizzle stream made $200, right? So now I might be like, oh, I should do it again. But no one likes the game, including me, right? And to be honest, what will end up happening, okay?
Oh, got a whole lot of nothing. Again, fella, just to point this out before I lose my train of thought, if you made $200, if you still don't like the game, you're not going to like the game. You're only playing the game because, again, you're trying to make money out of it. Again, so that's how sad part about it. You should be grateful that you at least, again, made $80. You should be very grateful on that. That's number one. Number two, going back to, not begging. Once again, Philip, it is your job, again, your job to make the set game interesting, entertaining. Again, you're not doing that because you're doing a very piss poor job. Also, hold on, I almost forgot, y'all. Almost forgot. Sorry. What'd you miss, Zombie Fan? Oh, boy, a whole lot of nothing. A lot of yapping and complaining. It's just about it. Oh, and Phil talked about how he didn't beg yesterday, which he did beg on the second stream. Yesterday high score was 138. And my birthday is 220. Wait, the 25th of this month? Oh, this month you're talking about that, Shreer? In that case, happy birthday. Well, happy early birthday. 3 bands ago, the total was now, oh, Lord have mercy. Well, I'm not surprised. To quote Kyle Johnson from GTA San Andreas, oh, shit, here we go again. Actually, you know what? You know what?
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
For my chat. I disagree with everything Phil says because he lost. Exactly, yes. He was yapping so much that I nearly lost my train of thought. But that's what he always does, David. He loves to yap. Spend 15, 20 minutes to give a single answer. It takes him forever because he does that to throw people off. My birthday was 2 days ago. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday. My birthday is the 17th coming up, doing a long stream of Neo 3 to celebrate. I will definitely be there. What day is the 17th? That would be a Tuesday, which depending, I'll definitely be there. You know, I always do a double on a Tuesday.
Is very simple. We're going to end up with another truck sim. We're going to end up with another...
Huh? Phil, what do you mean by that?
Situation where people are showering me with support and we keep playing the game, even though, quite frankly, the game is kind of boring and not that interesting. Okay, not to say that I didn't like Truck Sim at first, because I did, but after a couple months of Truck Sim, it got played out. But we played it all year because I kept getting showered with support every stream, right? So...
You mean when you're telling more about your life, and the reason why, in my opinion, you stopped playing because you actually said a lot more than you should have said?
The truth is, it's hard to judge how to handle this stuff. It really is. Do I ask for support every stream because then I'll do better as a business? And
Hold on. And prefers at the NSP gaming, but to be fair and being fair, you did bring up how little support you made the next stream multiple times. So it doesn't that negate the experiment? Even though in prefers is a dent, he's actually correct.
you know, I'll be able to support my family better and improve the setup better and buy more games.
You
But
don't have
whenever
a
I
family,
play
you
a
are
game
a
for the very
couple.
first
You
time,
wife
do
are
I
a
actually make this
couple,
just
Phil.
judgment that I should not ask for support? That way, if people do support the game, it's genuine because they like it, or I just, you know what I'm saying? Or they don't support it because they don't like it and they genuinely don't want it to continue, right? Now, admittedly, this is kind of a double-edged sword for me because although it'll be better to try more games to find the hidden gems that we're all going to love and will end up being ongoing playthroughs that get lots of support, the more games that I take chances on means another chance that the game is going to suck and now no one will support it. You see what I'm
Again, Philip, if the game is going to suck, it's up to your two things. Once again, I want to say this one last time because, again, I hate repeating myself. It is up to your job to research and to see how you can make this game entertaining. If you know the game is going to suck and it's not going to work for you and your audience, don't play it.
saying? If I play 5 games this week and out of those, 4 games we know everyone loves and will support and 1 is a wild card.
Anthony, what family? Again, I do not believe Kat is there, but let's say she is there. They're just roommates because she barely wants to do anything with Phil. Because the last time, and I remember this thanks to Soul pointing this out, Phil had stepped away. He left his mic open, and he asked Kat something. Kat said, "I do not care, Phil."
Versus this week I played 10 games. 6 games are wild cards and all of them suck. That might be 6 dead streams. So you see the situation I'm in right now where there's no real way to determine exactly how to go forward because it's new ground for me, right? I don't know if is it right whenever I play a brand new game, should I just not even mention support and let people genuinely and organically support that stream? I don't know. Right? I'm very curious about what to do about this, right? The funny part about yesterday, undoubtedly, is my detractors were fucking losing their shit. They couldn't stand the fact that I hadn't hit the phantom goal that doesn't exist, and I wasn't asking for support. They were tearing at their clothes. There was fucking 10, 20, 30 sock accounts all typing in chat. You're not hitting the goal. Why aren't you asking for support? They couldn't take it. They lost their fucking minds because their little pea walnut-sized fucking brains can't comprehend.
One day there'll be appropriate time to quote come to America, especially with Samuel Jackson wondering who this individual is. That's true. DSP, you don't help your family out. Exactly. Well, just when we hope AAA gaming gets better, it gets worse. Phil, you are literally a gauge. Wait, Phil, you literally gauge if you like the game, if you get money or not. Exactly.
That I'm smarter than them, and that I have the intelligence to try to conduct experiments and do things like you're not hitting the goal. Why aren't you asking for support? They couldn't take it. They lost their fucking minds because their little pea walnut-sized fucking brains can't comprehend that I'm smarter than them, and that I have the intelligence to try to conduct experiments and do things like this to try to figure out how to handle stuff moving forward. And it's not all about money. It's not. Okay? In fact, to be honest, it's better off, way better off, that we figure out the right thing to do than just have me sitting here begging for money every stream. Because long-term success is more important than temporary short-term success. Even though I might have a bunch of great streams this week, if I don't know what to do long-term, next week might suck. I might be out of ideas, might be out of games to play. So let's actually work on this together and figure it out, right?
How about we don't work on this together, Phil, and I just let you just continue being the fool that you are. And again, Philip, one more time because I go back to daily losing my train of thought.
Right? If I don't know what to do, because long-term success is more important than temporary short-term success. Even though I might have a bunch of great streams this week, if I don't know what to do long-term, next week might suck. I might be out of ideas, might be out of games to play. So let's actually work on this together and figure it out, right? So, my song forward, and it's not all about money. It's not, okay? In fact,
it's always about money, Philip. Everything you make, every game you play is always about money. So let's stop that lie.
to be honest, it's better off, way better off, that we figure out the right thing to do than just have me sitting here begging for money every stream. Because long-term success is more important than temporary short-term success. Even though I might have a bunch of
Actually, that was what they said, Chad. I gotta go back one more time. I do apologize.
pissed, and I wasn't asking for support. They were tearing at their clothes. There was fucking 10, 20, 30 sock accounts all typing in chat. You're not hitting the goal. Why aren't you asking for support? They couldn't take it. They lost their fucking minds because their little pea walnut-sized fucking brains can't comprehend that I'm smarter than them.
No. Again, nobody care about you who's asking for support. You's not asking for support. I can guarantee you that. Again, I didn't watch his stream that one, but again, when he did this before, again, it was weird, but to me, it was refreshing. Again, no detractor, no troll was losing their mind when you was not asking for support. It was actually getting refreshing, and again, nobody cared. Phil, I'm too busy being my inner Tupac, and exactly. Doing something one time is not an experiment. That is also true. Phil, if you're intelligent, then I'm a prime minister from Australia. Phil is all about money to the point where the Barrett Strong estate wants to sue Phil. Exactly. Not asking for money one time does not make it an experiment. All right, Phil, you complete another moron and mistake of a human being. Indie games are great doing because AAA. Exactly. Indie games are doing a lot better than what they are. Shut up, Phil. I have real news announcement. The next arc of Berserk will be darker than the Eclipse. Oh, wow. I'm going to have to pick that up.
And then I have the intelligence to try to conduct
And I'm letting play, Chad. I'm letting you go ahead and get some more coffee.
experiments and do things like this to try to figure out how to handle stuff moving forward. And it's not all about money. It's not, okay? In fact, to be honest, it's better off, way better off, that we figure out the right thing to do than just have me sitting here begging for money every stream. Because long-term success is more important than temporary short-term success. Even though I might have a bunch of great streams this week, if I don't know what to do long-term, next week might suck. I might be out of ideas, might be out of games to play. So let's actually work on this together and figure it out, right? So, let's do some shout-outs right now. And then let us talk about what we should do moving forward, genuinely. Because this is an... Oh, by the way, the other thing is what happened last night on the late stream, and we'll talk about that in a second, too. Let's do shout-outs, though, because there's a bunch that came in. We have SimCard EIRE, who did a €1 super chat. Thank you to SimCard for the super chat. I appreciate that. We have 220, who gifted our first sub of the day over on Kick. Thank you to 220 for the gifted sub. We have Clout Siffler, who for 3 months as a member says, can we run a poll to get a yes or no to continue Crizzle? No, I'm not continuing Crizzle. I'm super bored of the game. The audience was super bored of the game, right? The support was representative of that level of boredom. The videos aren't getting any views on them. I told you, parts 2 and 3 don't even have like 200, 300 views. No one cares about this game. It's dead. So, no, I'm not playing Crizzle again. That's actually why, if you noticed at the end of the stream, what I ended up doing was trying to finish that safe puzzle. Because, again, I wanted to have, like, the final end of my gameplay of it was, hey, let's do this puzzle, let's finish it. I'm not wasting time on a game like that. I'm just not. My time is my most valuable asset. It's not money, it's time. Time is the most valuable thing to me right now. I need to be doing smart and wise things with my time and not wasting it on games that just ain't it. And sorry, Crizzle, it's not it. Okay? There you go. All right, so thanks for supporting for so long, Cloud. I appreciate that. 220 also did a 500 kick and said, huge Phil W. Keep those detractors guessing. They don't even realize they're puppets in a grand experiment. They always are. That's what I mean. Like, now at this point, I have been in this game for so long, I know exactly how to manipulate these people. And I do it every day. They just don't know it because they're too ignorant. Every single day, they're doing exactly what I expect of them and what I want them to do. So thank you for the super chat. I do think there may be a tip. I'm not sure. Let's see. Someone did a $2 tip and says, the audience isn't a fan of being subject to experiments. If you want something, ask for it. No, that's because you're a troll. I know who you are. I recognize your email address. The trolls don't like being manipulated. They hate it. They were so furious yesterday when I didn't ask for support, and they're outright expecting it. They're like, wait, where's the clip farm? Why is there no clip farm? So instead of there being a clip farm, they had to title their videos, his utter failure Crizzle stream crashes when Phil only makes $80, instead of saying Phil crashed out asking for money. They couldn't do that video anymore. It just didn't happen. You see? Thanks for the $2, but I know who you are. I'm not stupid. Okay. And there you go. Chimchar also throwing me money for a comment that I'm never going to read. Thanks, Chimchar, for $2. Okay. So, here's the other half of the equation of this experiment that I did yesterday. I well knew that doing Crizzle as the first stream and that it may not work, all right? I knew that if I paired it with something that was a fan favorite and a troll favorite, that likely the late stream would be a hit. And that's exactly what I did. I played Street Fighter 6 with Dalzim last night, and we had high attendance, high engagement, and really good support. In fact, the stream did so well, it made up for the fact that the Crizzle stream hadn't done that well, and I hadn't asked for support during it. So you see, this is very similar to what I was saying about Dragon Quest the other day. Dragon Quest just doesn't do that well when it comes to support. Even though I think it's an outstanding game, it's hard for me to find a large audience that agrees. There is a small audience that agrees, but it's not huge, right? If I can play Dragon Quest, but pair it with other streams that do well, like RimWorld, for example, then it doesn't matter that Dragon Quest doesn't do well. You see, because the RimWorld stream overperforms, so it makes it so that the slower supported Dragon Quest stream can continue. And I even explained earlier this week, if we can have staple streams that are doing well all the time, then I can choose to maybe have a game like Dragon Quest be in the rotation, not perform well, but still continue. The key here is I can't do it with a million games. It can't be, for example, I'm playing Dragon Quest and then Crizzle and then another indie game and then another indie game, and all of them are horrible streams. I can't just keep having 4 or 5 streams a week that don't do well, right? I can do maybe one game like that, as long as everything else is going well. You gotta balance it, right? That's the tightrope I'm kind of walking right now, and I'm trying to figure out. This year, man, has this year been different than previous years, where I'm really experimenting and trying things, and I'm trying to be transparent with you about it so you understand where I am, where I'm coming from. I'm trying to do what's best for everyone. I want variety. I want us to find the hidden gems that we don't usually play. But at the same time, I want the business to still be doing well. I can't just sacrifice everything to try to find a few indie games. Do you see? So let's see how it goes. But here's the thing. Last night, absolutely on that Street Fighter stream, I hammed it up. I was asking and asking and asking some more. And then when I was done asking, I asked again. And I made over $200 on the Street Fighter stream last night, which then adjusted and made up for the fact that the Crystal stream didn't do good. And we were fine. And today, I slept easy. I woke up today refreshed saying the experiment actually worked. Now we know Crystal just didn't work as a playthrough. People aren't going to like it. And Street Fighter is still working well. We'll keep going with that, you know. But here's the question, quite frankly, right? Do we do this every single time now when I play a new game? Do we actually let the game speak for itself? Let people support if they like that game and the gameplay and playthrough I'm creating of it? And if it ends up being a game where I play it and it doesn't do well, that's basically speaking volumes that people don't like the game. Is that what we should do? Because is it fair, for example, again, with Crystal, what if I had asked for support and made $200? Do I play it again? Because the game is still boring. The game didn't get any better because it was supported. The game was still boring, right? Like, take a look at a game like Quarantine Zone. The first stream was actually really good. The second stream was decent, and the third stream was boring as hell. Some games are going to be like that. So you naturally figure that out over time, right? Not every game is going to be a giant playthrough that's going to succeed. That's okay. Maybe it's just good for a few hours, and that's another thing that we need to understand and explore this coming year. So how do you judge it? Davian says it's tough because with Dragon Quest VII, it just doesn't get great support on the first part, even asking for it. Half of it is just from one person. Then do we drop it? I don't want to drop a great game so easily. You're right. And in the case of Dragon Quest VII, that one is one of my favorite genres of games. Okay. Some genres I'm going to want to try to bite the bullet and play anyway, just because they mean a lot to me, even if they're not going to get giant support. Nothing here just said, my humble opinion as a fan, the slight increase in support when you ask for it versus the slight decrease in support when you don't ask, but then people can't clip you asking for money is worth taking that hit. Now, here's the thing, though, nothing here. Last night when I played Street Fighter, I hammed it up. I made a ton of money, so that made up for the Crystal stream, but then guess who clip farmed? Oh, Phil went extra hard on the Street Fighter stream because his Crystal stream failed, and so look, he's really asking, he's going crazy, he's out of control, right? So I honestly don't know what to do. It's tough, right? This is new ground. Like, for example, all right, right now I don't know what I'm going to play on Friday at all, because it was going to be Crystal. I'll tell you right now, I'm not playing Crystal again on Fridays. It's boring, okay? If the Marathon demo releases after the State of Play on Thursday, then I'll probably try the Marathon demo. But if the Marathon demo doesn't drop as rumored, then we have an open spot. Let's say I decide to try a couple indie games, right? Now, do I say, hey, support indies? Or do I just let them ride and see what happens? What if both games suck? Now I have a dead stream. It's not my fault. I tried something new, right? You know, I don't know. What do you do? Now, Friday night, we're doing Street Fighter 6 Friday Night Fights, and Street Fighter 6 usually does well. So do I ham it up on Friday night to make up? You see? Yeah, I don't know. Deadlock? Deadlock's a possibility of a game that I could try again. I liked Deadlock during the marathon, and I do want to try it again eventually. The thing is, Deadlock also isn't going anywhere. It's a game in development, and it's not going to be out anytime soon. So maybe we take our time with that. We fill into the schedule when there's holes to fill. There you go. Well, Broden is saying, many people are saying, get rid of the scrolling banner. Many people donate because they won't be blasted. Many people donate because they won't be blasted all over the stream and VODs. No, the truth is, this is not the problem. The problem is the stalking detractors. Because when you donate, let's say you do a super chat. That's going to be in the chat. They're going to see it. This isn't the problem, right? When you tip, you can literally make your name anything. You could tip right now and say, Pee Wee Herman has tipped me $5, right? That protects your identity. So that's not a problem. I'm telling you, this is not a problem at all. And if anything, a lot of people do like the fact that they get the credibility that they do by contributing and being on that thing. That's why it's always worked. That's why so many people use that, all right? The problem is the harassing, doxing, crazy, maniacal idiots on the internet who actually try to hurt people who donate to a streamer because they're mentally challenged. You know, they're sociopathic losers. Nothing here said. There's pros and cons to asking, and at the end of the day, it's just going to be your call. It's your channel, and there's really no right or wrong answer. You're right. There is no right or wrong answer, because no matter what I do, my detractors say I did the wrong thing, so I don't care what they say. What I care about is those of you who actually do care about me and my content. Those of you who enjoy the stuff, who want me to find the better games this year, right? This is a cool year where we're going to be trying a ton of stuff, right? We are. I want to find the good stuff, and I want to know if it's genuinely good, or if you're just kind of being nice to me because you support me, and then I don't want to play that game again anyway, right? It's a tough one. It's a tough one, honestly. We'll have to try to figure this out together. But I, personally, if you were to ask me how did yesterday go, I think it went as well as it possibly could have been. Because if I had asked for support during Crizzle and got a ton, now I have a skewed perspective of how good the game is. Did people support because they like the game, or did people support because they just like me and they want me to succeed, right? Maybe if more people would have supported and said, I don't like the game, but I want you to succeed, count this toward you and not the game, then I would have understood that, right? But most people would never do that. They'll support a game they like, and they'll stay away from a game they don't. And that's actually what happened, is a lot of people tuned in early for Crizzle, watched the first couple hours, were like, oh, this ain't it, it's boring, and then they just left. They didn't support, I'm out of here, I'll come back later for Street Fighter. You see? Let's see. Oh, hold on. There were more. I wasn't checking. We have more support over here. So I got a $2 tip. This person says, I think the evidence shows the contrary when it comes to asking for support, giving you more money. Dragon Quest, Turbianter, I didn't even meant to say Terminator, Sharks and Minnows, Dredge, Hellmark debut stream, even Quarantine debut stream, all games where you ask for support got less than Crizzle. But, you're right, but I'd like you to take a look at all the games you just mentioned. Every single one of those games you just mentioned, except one, is an indie game. Dragon Quest is not an indie game, and it's an RPG. It stands alone because I just can't get a lot of attention and support for RPGs. That's a staple around here, right? That's a thing you expect. Every other game you just mentioned is an indie game. Every one. Right? And this is new content for me. This is not the kind... Literally, old Phil never would have played Quarantine, Hellmark, Dredge, Sharks and Minnows, or Terminator 2D. And those are all 5 freaking games I've already played in 2026 that I never would have played in the past. This is going to be a situation where we need to build an audience for indies. We need to get people now in the mindset that Phil plays indies, and he's going to check these out per the recommendations of his audience. We need people to know this now, right? But I don't think what you're saying is necessarily representative of the overall truth, because the streams that do well when I ask for support are RimWorld, Street Fighter 6, Hollow Knight, and more. It's not really the game. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, those are all indies, and therefore the indies, it's going to be harder regardless because people aren't used to me playing indies. A lot of people still have this weird negative association with indies, feeling like they're not worth anyone's time. They're just rinky-dink small games. I'll come back when Phil plays Resident Evil 9 this month. That's what some people are legit saying right now. Phil's just doing all indie shit right now. There's nothing going on in games. I'll be back for Resident Evil Requiem because that's a staple that Phil always plays Resident Evil, and his playthroughs are always great, and I'll be back for that. You see? So no, I don't believe that every time that I ask for support, it doesn't work. That's just not the case. But there are situations where there's going to be a pattern, and it just really won't have much of an impact. And it seems like indie games, in some cases, that's been the case. Like, people just aren't going to support the indie game because they don't feel like it's big enough or in a big enough of an event or whatever, right? Someone tipped another $2.50, says, I think Street Fighter is always going to do well as a stream, and it's not a good testing ground. Completely false. That's absolutely false. Street Fighter 6 was doing terribly at one point, and I kept playing it because
I'm back. Sorry about it. I had to get some more coffee because, again, when it comes to Phil, he's just repeating himself. Did he say that I had to go back, chat, or just keep on pushing? Actually, let me get you caught up with the chat here. Ooh, a lightsaber.
wanted to have a fighting game in the rotation. And that's one of the other reasons why I dropped it last year. Not only that I was completely burned out on the game and not enjoying it, but the support was gone. Like, people were just not caring about that game. But there are situations where there's going to be a pattern, and it just really won't have much of an impact. And it seems like indie games, in some cases, that's been the case. Like, people just aren't going to support the indie game because they don't feel like it's big enough or in a big enough of an event or whatever, right? For Resident Evil Requiem, because that's a staple that Phil always plays. Because the streams that do well when I ask for support are RimWorld, Street Fighter 6, Hollow Knight, and multiple indies. For indies, we need to get people now going. That's a staple around here, right? That's a thing you expect. Every other game you just mentioned is an indie game. Every one. right? And this is new content for me. This is not the kind. Literally, old Phil never would have played Quarantine, Hellmart, Dredge, Sharks and Minnows, or Terminator 2D. And
I didn't realize I was still muted this whole time, chat. I'm sorry, chat. Phil. First and foremost, chat, did he say anything I need to go back to? Because I did want to go back. Because it sounded like he said some nonsense. And again, Phil, with current Phil, you still will not play these games, no matter what. Because here's the thing, bud. Here's the exact thing. Unless the game you know is going to be interesting and will make you lots of money, you will not play it.
those are all 5 freaking games I've already played in 2026 that I never would have played in the past. This is going to be a situation where we need to build an audience for indies. We need to get people now in the mindset that Phil plays indies, and he's going to check these out for the
I'm sorry, chat. I didn't even realize I was muted this whole time. There's a couple things very quickly I have to do it again because I said all this when I was muted like the more than I am. Sorry, chat. Sorry. I'm gonna go up just a little bit. I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills. Point to one person in the attractive community that docks people. That's what I'm curious about because he always talking about somebody in the attractive community as docs, and who I would like to see who that is. And what Rainbow said there, I know what she said. I'm not gonna say the whole thing, but I know what she meant. And exactly, he's not even worth doxing. He'll dox himself. And Bad Boy, what does he mean by that? I dare you, Phil, to knock on my door? Did he say some off the wall stuff like he normally does again? By the way, I'm rocking a 65 and a 60E 4K Heinz TV and a 20. Again, how much that one cost, David? Because I'd like to know. And they do live rent free in his head. Bad Boy, to him, as long as the game does not make him money, it don't even matter whether it's AAA or indie. If it does not make him 150, it's a bad game. And that's another thing. I think detractors do live rent free in his head. And Boogie is like the DSP horror. Here comes the Boogie. I really don't want to cover that more, especially when he lied about cancer. Yeah, he is definitely he's up there. He's definitely he's like borderline a horror cow in my opinion.
Recommendations of his audience. We need people to know this now, right? But I don't think what you're saying is necessarily representative of the overall truth, because the streams that do well when I ask for support are RimWorld, Street Fighter 6, Hollow Knight, and more. It's not really the game. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, those are all indies, and therefore the indies, it's going to be harder regardless because people aren't used to me playing indies. A lot of people still have this weird negative association with indies, feeling like they're not worth anyone's time. They're just rinky-dink small games. I'll come back when Phil plays Resident Evil 9 this month. That's what some people are legit saying right now. Phil's just doing all indie shit right now. There's nothing going on in games. I'll be back for Resident Evil Requiem because that's a staple that Phil always plays Resident Evil and his playthroughs are always great, and I'll be back for that. You see? So no, I don't believe that every time that I ask for support, it doesn't work. That's just not the case. But there are situations where there's going to be a pattern and it just really won't have much of an impact. And it seems like indie games, in some cases, that's been the case. Like, people just aren't going to support the indie game because they don't feel like it's big enough or in a big enough of an event or whatever, right? Someone tipped another 250, says, I think Street Fighter is always going to do well as a stream and it's not a good testing ground. Completely false. That's absolutely false. Street Fighter 6 was doing terribly at one point, and I kept playing it because I wanted to have a fighting game in the rotation. And that's one of the other reasons why I dropped it last year. Not only that I was completely burned out on the game and not enjoying it, but the support was gone. Like, people were just not caring about that game anymore. Right now, Street Fighter has been a staple win over the last month. That doesn't mean that it's going to continue forever. You know, right now, I'm just playing through all of my characters. You know, Friday I'll probably use Blanca, and then after that, maybe I'll go back with another rotation through. Eventually, I'll probably go back to Sagat, try to get in the Master. But after that, it's going to start to get more stale. And then we're going to be back to square one. So it's not always Street Fighter. You have to understand that.
To clarify, the more competition he faces, the more he's going to hate the game. So in other words, Phil, when you run into stiffer competition, you're going to contemplate on actually rage quitting the game, which we see coming.
I think you need to do multiple streams of not asking, then compare with multiple streams of the same where you ask. In the end, I think it's all confirmation bias in the end. It is. And the truth is, the other thing I got to be careful of is doing too many experiments because I still need to have a successful business. You understand that, right? Like, I can't say, oh, I'm just going to half the streams this week, I'm going to do experiments and they all fail. Well, then I've just shot myself in the foot. I know the formula that works because I've used it. I should stick with what's working while also trying to balance it with things that may not work. Does that make sense? Like, I need to do a proper balance. So it's a tough situation I'm in right now because this is all new ground for me. A 17-year creator facing new ground because things are so different. But the thing is, this is all a positive. I want everyone to understand this as strong as I can make it a point. This is all a positive change. This is stuff improving. This is not stagnation. This is not boredom. This is us trying new stuff because things have been going so well. And I'm grateful for that because I'd much rather be in a situation where we're excited for the future. We're trying new games.
Hold up. He caught me by surprise with that. Hold on. There's quite a bit to unpack there.
I want proper balance. So it's a tough situation I'm in right now because this is all new ground for me. A 17-year creator facing new ground
18 years,
because things are so different. But
not 17, 18 years. This is not new ground, Phil. This is stuff that people have been telling you to do for a very long time. You just finally catch up because you are finally catch up because once again you are a dinosaur.
Thing is, this is all a positive. I want everyone to understand this as strong as I can make it a point. This is
Okay, let's see how weak this is going to become.
all a positive change. This is stuff improving. This is not stagnation. This is not boredom. This is us trying new stuff because things have been going so well. And
Phil, I'm literally going to play Terminator Resistance on my birthday. I will definitely tune into that, zombie fan. You'd be surprised with all the horrible things Boogie and Keem are willing to do. I know. I'm not covering those two because, one, we already know what the history of Keemstar. He's no good person at all when it comes to Boogie. Ugh. Yeah.
I'm grateful for that because I'd much rather be in a situation where we're excited for the future. We're trying new games. We're trying new methods. When we play the new
Of course, once again, using the word we, here's the funniest thing, Phil. If I were to play games with you, I will troll you until you literally quit the game.
games to see what works and what doesn't, as opposed to us saying, well, we're just stuck in a rut and we got to do the same thing every day because it's the only thing that would possibly ever work, even though it doesn't always work and I'm miserable. It's the opposite. I'm
Which you are. You are all those things.
actually excited and invigorated to come to stream every day and hang out with you guys and have a good time. It's a great
Only time you get excited is when people open up their Velcro wallets and give you money. Other than that, when you don't get money, you are very bored and you're very miserable.
feeling that we're doing all this new stuff together. We're breaking new ground, as they say, right?
No.
Okay. Here we go. I just received an $8 anonymous tip. Let me play an animation for that, and then I'll tell you what they said. This is interesting, actually.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
This is $8.
Or better yet, hold on. Let me see if I can pull that up again. I got working in the soundboard chat.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Anonymous tip, and they said, yes, I would love to support you publicly, but yeah, it's just too hostile. Thank you for having an anonymous way to tip you and support. Exactly. If ever any of you are
That, yeah, just like that, Anthony. That's a fake tip is too.
like the content and you want to support it and you want no chance of
How long does he keep on talking before we get to the gameplay? Still yapping. Oh, okay. He eventually gets to the gameplay, but he's
basically being attacked by people on the internet, tipping is absolutely the way to go. When you tip me, the only thing I will ever see is your email address. That's it. I don't know your name.
That's a lie. You see a lot more information because when you got completely drunk, you actually dox Ryan.
I don't know any information about where you're even watching me. You could be on Kick. You could be on YouTube. I don't know where you're even watching from. And when you tip me, all you got to do is say the name you want to be referenced by, or you can say just leave me anonymous and put the message in the body of the tip. That's it. You're protected. Now, this is exactly why the trolls hate this, and that's why they constantly lie about PayPal and say shit like, oh, when you tip Phil, you dox yourself. No, you don't. But they want you to think that so you won't tip that way, and you'll try to support another way so they can get your information. That's literally why they lie about it all the fucking time. They're upset that...
Really, we're upset. We're really that upset. Okay, sure. Please, not confirm, but actually go a bit more explanation about this one, Philip.
people can actually support. This is also why they claim every tip I receive is fake. Every single tip Phil's ever gotten was a fake. He doesn't make that money. He's a liar. He's a poor. He's broke. No, the tips have legit always been real, and they can't handle that fact. They're upset that people like the content.
Phil, didn't you say in the past that you could be lying? You even said that one man could be a lie as well. You did say that. So again, what you're saying here is incorrect. And again, Phil, we know when you fake tip because one thing I learned when it comes to fake tips is when they write a paragraph that sounds like something that you would say, yeah, you fake tip yourself. And again, thanks to Pop and Duty, they actually expose of how you can see people's information through PayPal, not just their first name, but their email address and other information.
And support it positively and can't be attacked for it if they tip. So then they lie about it and they try to cope.
None of us are coping. You are.
So there you go. Robert did a $2 super chat asking, will I play the new Yakuza? There is no new Yakuza. There is no new Yakuza. What you're referencing is Yakuza Kiwami 3. It's a remake of Yakuza 3. Now, to be fair, I've never played Yakuza 3. But at the same time, right now, I'm already in the midst of a Dragon Quest 7 playthrough that is struggling to get attention and support. I can't do another...
I've gotten money on PayPal before. You see the email and their legal name. Thank you for telling me that, Zombie Fan. That's one of the few things why I don't like PayPal, because they can see all that information.
Game like that's going to be insanely lengthy, drawn out, Japanese-style culture, central. we've done Yakuza games before. I like them. In fact, I love them. I think that they're some of the staple best games out there. They always have tons of content, usually a good gameplay loop that's addictive and fun. But sadly, over the years, the audience that I have for Yakuza has dwindled dramatically. I used to get a lot of people who like Yakuza. But here's what happened. It went mainstream, right? When I was playing Yakuza back in the day, Yakuza 4, 5, 6, the games were much smaller scale. Not many people knew about the franchise in Western-speaking, English-speaking audiences. I was actually one of the few people on YouTube covering Yakuza, and I was doing it in English. Most people playing Yakuza were doing it in Japanese. So people used to come and watch
Because you hate the Japanese audience.
my playthroughs in droves on the back end. I used to get tens of thousands of views on my parts of Yakuza. Seriously. Now, no one watches my Yakuza. Everyone else already played it. Everyone else does better than you, Phil.
Because, again, each game you touch or play, Philip, you make incredibly boring. Again, the only time it actually goes up is if people seeing how bad you're doing. Other than that, they'll either watch a restreamer or they'll check out the game for themselves.
So the audience kind of went elsewhere, and there's not much I can really do about that. Again, Yakuza is kind of like a guilty pleasure that I have, kind of like Dragon Quest, where I know I like it, I would like to play it, but I know that I can't do it if I have other things going on that are going to underperform, and I already know for a fact that Dragon Quest 7 is going to underperform, so I can't play Yakuza right now. There's just no way I could do two at once. You see?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
Anything else
I think we got
so
through
far?
all shout-outs now. So, moving forward, right? The question is very simple. Do I continue to conduct streams that are first look style streams the way that I did the Crystal stream? Whoops, the way I did the Crystal stream yesterday.
First look. What do you mean by first look, Philip? You need to explain this one a bit more.
Do I not ask for support so that we can let the game speak for itself? We don't get a skewed perspective of what that game is if someone comes in and supports because I asked for it rather than because they were enjoying the stream. Do you see what I'm saying? How do I handle it? Because the thing is, it is a challenge. What if in 1 week I end up trying 3 or 4 new games and all of them fail because they're not very good, and now I have 4 dead streams? You know, if I can balance.
Majority of your streams are dead anyways, Phil. Most of the time, you get somewhere between like 150 to 200 viewers. That's just about it because, again, yes, you have your hardcore dens and your wells, but people want to see how badly you're going to do the game. It's simple as that. And majority of them are just restreamer. Actually, no, it's one restreamer, which is Raw Phil, and he gets the rest of your views. Or should I say his views?
Those streams with tried and true guaranteed winners like Street Fighter, Hollow Knight, RimWorld, coming up big AAA releases like Resident Evil Requiem that likely will do really well. Then I could probably do that, but I don't know if I can. And on the same time, which is what Klaus Siffler just says, if it means that you got to ask for more contributions on the other stream that day, then don't do it because that becomes too exhausting. So, you know, I don't know. Davian says, I don't think it matters. You pulled the curtain back and everyone knows the rules of the game now.
Nobody cares.
Oh, there you go. I should do the opposite. I should just ask for way more on these streams.
Which you normally do. So again, in that case, chat, hold on. Oops, sorry, chat.
Boo this man!
I definitely got working on the soundboard.
There we go. So this Friday, whatever I'm going to be playing, I'm not even going to start the game until I receive a $20 contribution. I won't even boot it. It's $20 to boot. All right, and then you want me to press start? That's got to be another $5, man.
Exactly.
There you go. Look, now we're talking. Now we're really cooking with gas, right? We're figuring this stuff out, right? Buckwell says, what about asking for support once at the start and once at the end of the stream and not 37 times between? To be honest, Buckwell, here's the truth. If I get...
As much as Buckwell's another dent, he's not correct. You do it once beginning and maybe at the end, and that's just about it. Just mention it only once or twice, and that's it.
great amounts of support before we even start with the game, I don't ask for support during the game. Have you noticed that?
Oh, Phil, please explain how other variety streamers like Silvervale are capable of juggling multiple games and be entertaining. Zombie fan, again, another person I also followed. He or she, I don't know the gender or what they are, what they look like, but this person who does MK Fire and Ice, they don't do streams, but they do videos, non-commentary playthroughs of live video games. Very entertaining, and last time I checked, they're at 2.1 million or 2.5 million. Let's pull that. Let me pull it up. I believe MK Fire Ice might be at 2. Hold on, chat. Hold on. Chat. Hold on. quick, one last detour, chat. One last detour. I promise. Speed. One last detour. I want to show you guys something. Go by enemy lines here for a hot minute. Okay. Chat. This is Phil. Obviously, right here. DSP Gaming. 2.29K subs. 2.29K subs. Almost 300K subs. Here's MK Fire and Ice. 4.56 million subs. Million. So, Phil, who's the more successful content creator here? As a matter of fact, I'm curious, when did NK5 start their channel? Oh, no, again, they put that there. That's not doxing, chat. Before everybody say, oh, you're doxing NK5s. No, they just put their business email out. They started in, wait a minute, they started in August 2012. When did Phil start? Hold on. So Phil started in April 15, 2010. NK5 started 2 years after. And again, look how many subs NK5 got. Started 2 years later than Phil. Nearly 5 million subs. Now, I don't think... Hold on, I just want to check something really quick. Okay, so they don't have... He or she does not have monetization on. But it doesn't matter because I don't think they care about it. I think they just want to go out there and make entertaining content, which is the most important thing to do as a content creator. No matter if you monetize or not, you should be entertaining. And in Phil's case, he's not entertaining.
Set? Maybe not. But for example, that whole month after the Asmongold interview, I wasn't asking for support. Very rarely. Maybe once a stream I would mention how you could support, and I would just be shouting out the support. I wouldn't even mention it because I didn't have to. I keep explaining this to people as matter-of-factly as I can, and I swear people just want to believe the toxic shit on the internet rather than using their brains. I don't want to ask for support. Ever. Ever. I didn't have to. I keep explaining this to people as matter-of-factly as I can, and I swear people just want to believe the toxic shit on the internet rather than using their brains. I don't want to ask for support. Ever. Ever. I don't even want to think about it. I just want to sit here and hang out with you guys and enjoy games and have fun on streams, period. That's all I ever want to do. But as I've just explained, when I ask for support, I get more. When I don't ask for support, I get less. It's a tried and true fact of my streams. Maybe that's not the case for others, because others are very different from me, but I am Darkside Phil. I am Phil Burnell. I am a one only entity on this planet. There is no one else out there that is like me. My situation is completely unique.
If you talk about your name, yes, Philip. Holy crap, was that me the whole time? I'm sorry, chat. Let me go over that one again. I apologize. Phil, two things. Again, two very important things. Number one, you beg all the time. You can't help yourself. The thing is, Philip, you think about begging all the time. If you're not making money, you're not a happy camper. If you're not making at least 150, you're not happy with it. And the sad part about it is begging is part of your content, unfortunately. Again, here's the thing, Phil. You could have easily phased out begging a long time ago, and maybe you would have done a lot better. But again, you can't help yourself, because if you're not making money at the end of the day, then the stream is not successful. There are plenty of streamers on YouTube who barely make a single dime, a single cent, but don't beg. And some that even are monetized choose out monetization because they're trying to be entertaining. It's really that simple. And secondly, Philip, sorry about that, chat. And secondly, when it comes to other content creators, they're interesting and entertaining. They do stuff to be very interesting. And here's the thing: they have a personality about them that makes them so fascinating. In your case, Phil, you're just a locale. Yes, your name is not your name is unique. You're only one Philip Bonnell, but you're not that unique. You're just a locale. You're a tier A type of style locales. But that's just about it, because again, people view you as a sitcom, just like I view you as a sitcom. Again, we're just waiting to see how long will this train wreck will continue before it finally derails itself.
From my perspective and my experience, when I ask, I get. When I don't ask, I don't. I don't care when people criticize me for it, because what matters is that this is successful, so I can keep doing what I love, I can support my family, and I can put out meaningful and positive content for my viewers. That's what matters, not public opinion saying, robble, he asks for money too much. I don't give two fucks about what those people say, because they're dollarless losers who sit on the internet criticizing others when they should be doing for themselves. Do you see?
So we're dollarless users, even though majority of us have jobs or either in school. Now, go ahead. You're fine. Go ahead. Take care of that. You know, majority of us do have jobs or either in school or doing something. We still making money on our own. We're not begging our audience or chat to give us money, but we're doing just fine. What does 2010... Wait, hold on. What does 2010 DSP think about Halo back in 2000s early... I'm about to go back. He did bring it up, David, in one of his streams. He said right now, current Halo is not that good compared to the old-fashioned Halo that Bungie used to make. But even still, then he has some of the weirdest takes when it comes to Halo. I have to actually look that up.
Who gives a fuck about them? I want my streams to be successful. I want to be able to do what I love for the longest time I can. All right? So I got to find that balance. Now, if I'm getting tons of support, I never have to ask for it. And that's what was happening. Then it dwindled. So guess what? I had to ask for support again. Right? Now, I've tried to limit it, I tried to balance it, and I tried to find things going on that will work and won't work. I don't want to annoy the audience. And you're right. If I'm asking for
you've done a great job of doing both.
Support 37 times a stream, that's going to piss people off. At the same time,
you done it way more than 37. You done it 100 times. Even thanks to Pick Goal. There's one time you actually begged for support nearly 120 times and didn't even reach the goal.
If I don't ask for support, I get none or little, and then everyone doesn't matter anyway because they still talk shit about me. So it's about finding the happy medium, which you're suggesting do it at the beginning, do it at the end. Maybe that could work. Maybe not. Not everyone is there at the very beginning or very end of the stream. Right now, I have 262 viewers on my stream. I only had less than 100 when I started the podcast. More than half my viewers weren't here to hear me do the call to action at the beginning of the stream, which, by the way, I didn't. I didn't do a call to action at the beginning of the stream. I haven't even called to action once the stream yet, and I've been broadcasting for an hour and 29 minutes.
Exactly.
So, yeah, maybe there is a way to conduct it. I don't know what. I don't want to sit here with a clock timing the stream and be like, oh, let me hit the clock on certain times when I have to do my call to action today. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to figure this out. We are. Together, we will figure it out, and things are going to be great this year. They are already. They're just going to get better. It's just a matter of finding the right way.
Yeah, things are great, Philip, only for detractors. Other than that, things gotten great for you. Not so much because thanks to JG, I'm going to wait till he releases information, but his financial goals for last month are a lot worse than they were back in December. I can't wait to see how February is going to be.
To do all of this stuff so that it's not too much of a heavy ask, but it's not asking at all, because that also will shoot me in the foot. Like, what is the balance? And we will find it. Okay? Yes, he says it's your stream. It's my stream, but it's our time. Will shoot me in the foot. Like, what is the balance? And we will find it. Okay? Yes, He says it's your stream. It's my stream, but it's our time.
Two things. Phil, plenty of times you said on your stream, it's your stream. You're the shot caller. If anybody comes in and do any changes, you ban them. You said it before. When you say our time, majority of times you're blaming your chat for wasting your time when you are the streamer. You're supposed to be entertaining. So what do you mean by that, by we and our time? Like, even I had to go back and look at this one, listen to this one, Anthony.
Did I not explain earlier on this very show? The most valuable asset to anyone on planet Earth is time. It's not money, it's time. Time is what you have the most limited of right now. Even if you self-aware or not, time is your most valuable asset that you can ever have in your existence on this planet. So the time is valuable. I want to make sure that I'm using your time wisely when you're on my streams.
If that's the case, Philip, why even waste doing a podcast? We could have got to the gameplay. If you're talking about your chat's audience is their time that's valuable, why you waste your time continuing on this topic? Took you, what, nearly, and I'm just going by this chat, almost 2 hours before you finally get to the gameplay, which I could tell the gameplay is horrible.
It's not me, it's us. Or else I'm talking to myself. And I like to think that I'm not just talking to myself.
There's been plenty of times when I've been streaming for what I am talking to myself. Doesn't matter at the end of the day, because some people look at the VOD later to see what I was talking about. That tends to happen. It's just part of the streaming life.
So here we go. I just received a $3 tip, and here's what someone just said. Sometimes I'm enjoying a stream, and you'll mention support, and then it actually reminds me to send some. I think little reminders are good. Don't say if you like the game support, but say if you were here and chilling, feel free to support, if that makes sense. Sometimes we hate the game, but we actually like you.
One more time.
Okay. So here we go. I just received a $3 tip, and here's what someone just said. Sometimes I'm enjoying a stream, and you'll mention support, and then it actually reminds me to send some. I think little reminders are good. Don't say if you like the game support, but say if you were here and chilling, feel free to support, if that makes sense. Sometimes we hate the game, but we actually like you. Okay. That's maybe a different way to phrase it, a different mentality.
Again, sorry for hitting the mic there. That's a big X. I doubt, Philip. Did you write that to yourself again? Because you have said in the past that sometimes you like to, again, well, you said you were lying in the past. You said, how can you know it's real? So, again, that's another fake tip.
So say, hey, if you like the stream, if you like me and my content, support. Not if you like this game, support it. All right. Someone just tipped another $2 and says, I like to support you because I feel like you deserve it. When you do a gameplay stream and start complaining about parts about support, it can get annoying to the viewers. I hope that these tips are helping you. Good luck. You'll find that right balance. Thank you. It is helping me. Absolutely.
Another fake tip.
Absolutely, it's helping. Thank you. Someone tipped a buck. Now this, again, I cannot confirm nor deny what they're saying. I'm literally reading word for word what they sent in a $1 tip. They say, Lolcow Live asks for money way more than you do on a typical show. They repeatedly scam their audience. The truth is, you're not a bad guy. You're not doing anything wrong by asking for contributions.
Quick detour. One more detour. Chad. One more detour. So if you look at the word begging, 910 results. Let's go for this year. Would be okay, 6 results. But regards to not, again, he begs a lot. Begs a lot. I'm gonna do a little bit more research, but he begs a whole lot, way more than Locale Live.
Here you go. Here's an honest question, okay? Honest question. If I'm such a bad guy because I constantly ask for contributions, right? But there's people who do it worse than me, more than me, why am I the one that's always in everyone's mouth? Why am I the one that I end up on the Reddit live stream fails and I end up getting talked about on some big streamer stream? Why is it always Dark Side Phil? Why isn't it Locale Live?
Because you're one of the biggest locales, you have a bad habit, put your own foot in your mouth, and you give easy W's to other locales. That's just the tip of the surface.
Why isn't it another person who does it more and worse than me, right? It's a good question. It's interesting, isn't it?
No, you're just interesting because you find ways to constantly keep putting your foot in your mouth.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Jesus. This stream's going to get claimed. I'm going to have to try to get that music out, too.
So there's one other thing that I want to do on this podcast today, and that's I want to react to the Directive 8020 trailer that actually released yesterday, because this is a more in-depth look at the game that will now be coming out in May 12th. This originally was supposed to come out in October. This is the next game from Supermassive Games, and it got delayed, which sucks, because if it came out in October, a horror game in October...
No, being delayed is a good thing, because that means they can spend more time trying to get the game polished.
I mean, you're going to get an installed base of players and purchasers, right? So it does suck that it got delayed, but I am interested in this. I'm going to play it in May for sure, because I really do like these Supermassive Game horror games. They're good variety for the streams, too. Let's take a look.
Majority of times you hate horror games anyways, because you don't really get, not intertwined, but get involved into the atmosphere.
All right, let's do it. And then after that, we'll see what else you guys want to talk about for the rest of the show. Okay. So, here we go. Directive 8020 from Supermassive Games, their latest and greatest game. Let's see what it's all about.
Uh-huh.
You gotta let me in. They're right behind me. Open the fucking door.
Actually, I'm sorry, Chad. Let me slow that down. I'm going to slow down to 1.2, because this does look, not that. This does look interesting. Hold on. This does, actually.
It's coming for you.
Shut up, Phil.
Please.
I guess you can. Trust or betray. Abandon or save. Abandon?
So you have choices. So interesting. You have a choice to either help the companion or betray them. And I'm certain there's gonna be more than one at least. Well, assuming there's gonna be more than one companion.
Uh-oh. Oh.
I don't know, Lewis. When it comes to Wormworld, it's always bad.
Oh boy, look at this. So, you know, here's the thing. There will be gameplay elements, it looks like, unlike all dialogue choices. So that's interesting. I wonder if it'll actually have any combat or if it's just going to be survival.
How about you just shut up and continue watching? The new chapter.
Not one goddamn step.
It's me, please.
Better be a fucking alien.
Oh my god, so it's the thing. That you saw it was two of the same guy? Is it like so the alien was impersonating? It's literally the thing. Only.
And what led you to that analogy? It looks like just a regular alien that's trying to take over the ship.
Set in space this time. That's interesting.
Graphics look really interesting.
Leave me out here, please.
The question is, what are you going to do about it?
Anything you want to say there, Philip? Oh, she gets taken over by the alien. Interesting.
Look how many there are. Oh, man.
Directive 8020.
Damn. All right, that's even creepier. That not only can they impersonate you, but they can make infinite clones of you, too.
Which seems interesting, Philip. stream May 12th. You know what, chat? You know what, chat? What day is May 12th? Now I'm curious. Let's see. That would be the 12th of May. That's a Tuesday. Okay. I know what I'm going to do. I know exactly what to do there, chat.
So here's the question. You can pre-order it now, right, on Steam? But if you can only follow on Steam. You can pre-order on Xbox and Series X. Can anyone see how much it costs? Because if I go on Steam right now, it's just going to let me wishlist it. But here's why I'm wondering. This is not part of the Dark Pictures anthology, is it? It says it's a Dark Pictures game, but it's not necessarily saying that it's a Dark Pictures anthology. Because I'm wondering, is it just a shorter game? Is it going to be a game that's only like 3 hours long, but you play it a bunch of times? Or is it going to be a longer game? I'm curious. It is. It's considered a Dark Pictures game. It's $50. If it's $50, then it's more expensive than a typical Dark Pictures game. It's the start of the whole new anthology season. Wow, it took them a while, but I'm happy to hear that. Okay.
Sorry, chat. Just look at something really quickly.
$50, I don't know if it's too short. I mean, I'm gonna buy it and play it. All right, it's not a matter of money to me, but I'm trying to gauge value. Typical Dark Pictures.
Shut up, Phil. Directive 8020 is a sci-fi survival horror game where the Earth is dying and a crew travels to a new planet that could hopefully be the next home for humanity. However, the planet is the home to an alien organism that can take form of any crew members, setting the stage for a tense experience. Lashion Lynch, known for her work in the Woman Kingdom, stars in the title where the choices matter and will affect the outcome of the main campaign. This is the first non-RV Dark Pictures anthology game since 2022. The Devil in Me. The game was originally released annually, but the team ultimately decided they did not want to be tied to a such demanding schedule. As the team says, we don't want to be tied down to a game every 6 months or every year or anything like that. The game is big, so we wanted to treat it such. You want to treat it as such. Will Dallo, I know I'm saying his name wrong, the creative director of Directive 8020, told Your Gaming back in 2024 the upcoming title. As he said back in 2024. Okay. So I'm gonna pick this game up. It looks interesting. I'll make sure I beat it before Phil does, but it looks interesting. Looks very interesting, chat. I know. What up, Chaotic? Welcome to the Firehawk. Hey, we're going to be mentioning in the stream soon. Like I said, I don't want to go for at least till 6 p.m., but I want to at least cover history stream at the most. But welcome aboard, my man.
There's games. I think the longest one was, 5 hours long? The longest one they ever made? It wasn't that House of Ashes or something like that? Well, I am looking forward to it, especially because it looks like The Thing. In space rather than,
trust me, I can't
in the snow base or wherever it took place. I forget exactly where the thing took place.
Even better at tech.
But that looks fun and interesting and creepy, and I'm excited.
If you have videos of that, please post them because I want to see them.
I got it on my calendar now for May. That's a good one. That's one to look out for because I like the Dark Picture stuff, and it's been years now since they came out with one, so it'll be good to have it back now. Okay. Cool.
Anything else you want to say there, Philip?
Okay. So that's all I really had to cover or talk about today. All right. However, one thing we absolutely need to start planning for, and this is up to you if you want to talk about it today or not. We don't have to. We have to start planning for the next marathon. Okay? The next marathon is going to take place on Friday, March 6th, and we have determined it will be a retrothon. What that means is I'll be playing retro games, but the question is what? We did a brief poll, and it's...
Oh my goodness. So Friday he's going to do another marathon. That's going to be interesting.
Like people wanted Nintendo-style games, right? So here's the thing. We could continue the Mega Man marathon, and
the movie took place in Antarctica. Yes, he is the biggest dummy. He is zombie fan.
Could finish with Mega Man 8 and go into 9 and 10, which very much play like, 8-bit NES games. They're not, but they play like them. Or we could do a bigger variety of games, which would be kind of neat if we maybe did like a Mario and a Zelda and some... I don't know. What are the classics? Metroid, do a little of each. Or we could do, I don't know what we would want to.
I don't. It was a while ago, but hosting whatever he can. Wait. I don't. It was a while ago, but he hosts them ever now and then when Phil doesn't stream. Sometimes you catch me in there.
Do and how we would
I'm gonna
handle
keep an eye on that,
you
Chaotic.
know? But I guess the question is how to do it, because I want to entertain you, but I also want to have fun, and I want people to get hyped. The last marathon, no one got hyped because no one knew what games were being played, right? It was kind of like,
Phil, the last marathon was supposed to be a Super Bowl marathon. You used to play football-related stuff and a Valentine's type of marathon. You didn't do both. It was just you covering games. It's like a game conference. That was it.
a last-minute rush job to plan it. This time around, if we can plan ahead of time, there's a much increased chance that we will get more people to come hang out and check out this marathon and to be honest, enjoy it and support it. I want to entertain the audience. So what do you guys think? What should it be? Should it be Mega Man continuing? Or should we actually do more like classic Nintendo games to do a more bigger variety? Right? I don't know. A couple shout outs.
That's up to you, Phil, how you want to do your marathon.
So we have Lance Catamaran, who just gifted a sub over on Kick. Thank you to Lance for the gifted sub. And then we have Buttfuck McAssface, all right, who has just gifted a membership.
Wait. Say that again, Philip.
Who just gifted a sub over on Kick. Thank you to Lance for the gifted sub. And then we have Buttfuck McAssface.
All right, y'all.
I mean, that's what you like, Philip. But hey, please tell us more.
All right, who has just gifted a membership. I probably shouldn't type that on my my stream.
Nah, you already said it, so it's too late.
There we go. All right. And then I received a $10 super chat from Aaron, who says, this is actually support for Crizzle. Please keep playing it. Aaron, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to. The audience just didn't like it. The audience was very bored. It was Aaron Nero, actually. The audience was very bored, and quite honestly, I was bored. Now, here's what I said. I said, if people who continued to play the game actually told me that the game gets much better after the fact, that maybe I was right on the cusp of the game getting better with more weapons, abilities, bigger variety of enemies, and everything picking up, then maybe I would consider playing it again. But what I actually heard was that from a couple people who kept playing, no, actually the game is more of the same. The game literally is the same kind of enemy almost the entirety of the game, and it almost never picks up. It's pretty boring throughout. It's that level throughout, in which case I don't think I want to play it again. Okay? Just being honest here. I don't want to do another stream that everyone will be dead. In comparison, like I said, right now, if you take a look at the videos, let's take a look here.
Let's take a look at the videos.
Okay? You can't make this up. Here's all the videos I put out yesterday.
I'm sorry, Chad. I am such a moron. I made a mistake. Sorry. Put him back to 1.5. Sorry.
You ready? Here's all the videos that I put out yesterday on the channel. Okay? The morning show, not shockingly, less than 300 views. The morning show doesn't usually do well unless there's a big, important thing going on. And
Phil, it's not a morning show. You could want to call it a noon show. Just call it the Love One Podcast. It's as simple as that.
It was just a chill show where we were just covering certain topics, right? The actual videos of Crizzle, okay? Part 1 only has 500 views. Awful for a new release. Part 2 has 163 views. So out of the 500 people who even gave the game a shot, less than half even decided to click on Part 2 because they found Part 1 so boring.
Again, they found it boring because of your gameplay. Again, it is a user problem, not a gameplay problem.
And then Part 3, where I actually put kind of a clickbaity thumbnail of horror, only has 250 views. Okay? Compare that with the video that I put out saying that Crizzle is the bait and switch, which now has 1,600 views and climbing. Dude, the Daily Wrap got 600 views. The Daily Wrap beat every video of Crizzle in views. That's
because people wanted to hear how bad your take was going to be. Again, actually, they want to hear you more complain about Street Fighter 6 when you when you got Merc completely when you was playing Dawson. That's the reason why people tune in more into that.
bad. Okay? The Daily Wrap usually doesn't do well, and it beat Crizzle. So, likely what this is telling me is that no one really cares for me to continue with Crizzle. All right? Just being honest here. Now, BattleDuck says, well, surely RimWorld isn't doing better. RimWorld does not do well on demand at all, but RimWorld is one of the most engaged streams I have done in years. When I play RimWorld, the stream chat is alive. People are interacting and helping me with the game, and because of that level of interaction, they support.
Yeah, what Steve said about it is your chat has to handle you through every single thing. That's not being a gamer.
The stream. RimWorld is a stream.
Again, no comparison to other streamers. Number for exactly, Soul.
Does that make sense? RimWorld very much is designed and played. It's a stream event. It's not really a game playthrough, if that makes sense. Okay? Narwhal Gaming says, was looking at these views important when most of your support is on demand? Well, we already just talked about how the Crystal stream didn't do well with support on the stream. right? The stream didn't do well. The videos aren't doing well after the fact. The game is a failure. Do you get it? Like, I've tried. Stream didn't work. On demand's not working. Me telling you the truth about the game that it's not very good. That's what got the views. So,
Because again, people wanted to hear how bad your take was, and people actually took it and show it to everybody to see. This is the reason why he's such a failed stream. Oh, I just saw the name. Because you suck at games and are boring. You need the game to be Elden Ring level for people to ignore the lack of anything you can bring to the game, and even then you find a way to make it unwatchable. No lies detected there, so I'll leave it at that, Chad.
do you understand where I'm coming from? I hope that makes sense. If not, I don't know how else to clarify the situation, right?
No, low tier Pikachu said it all.
Okay.
That's what's always important, chat, when you restream film. You do actually just pay attention to chat sometimes, because for once in a while you actually see people that speak the truth. And he sees it. He's reading it.
What is
He
flying
sees
with
it.
balloons? Someone keeps bringing up a game called Flying with Balloons. What in the holy heck is that? I'm gonna see if I can find it. Flying with Balloons does not exist on Steam, so I don't know what you're talking about. It's not on there.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Cowboy, I'm bored of tears. I'm out. I'll see you later. Jeez, even people are literally rage quitting the podcast. That's sad, Philip. That's very sad.
Oh, snap. Relooted came out. I didn't know that game came out. We got to play Relooted. We're dropping everything. It came out 2 days ago. Why didn't you guys tell me?
You should have looked it up for yourself.
We hyped that one up so much. We got to play Relooted. That's like the cultural event of the year. Okay.
Anything else you want to say, Philip?
High Guard 2. Oh, they're making a sequel. That'd be exciting. All right. Well, we will talk about the marathon again soon. The thing is, we're almost out of time for the show. I don't want to talk about it now. Maybe we'll talk about it a future date. Remember, Friday's Level 1 podcast, because there's no podcast tomorrow. We're just going to have a morning show. Friday's Level 1 podcast will be jam-packed. Why? We're going to be reacting to the state of play and the Silent Hill transmission. So there's probably going to be a ton of videos and things that I'm going to be reacting to.
Oh, great. Tomorrow's going to be a long stream for me. I got to cover some things, and now I got to cover this. Lucky me.
It's going to be a really loaded show on Friday. I hope you guys will be here for that.
Oh, wait. Was that Friday or was it tomorrow? I'm sorry, Chad.
Maybe we'll talk about it a future date. Remember, Friday's Level 1 podcast, because there's no podcast
Okay, Friday. I was wrong.
tomorrow. We're just going to have a morning show. Friday's Level 1 podcast will be jam-packed. Why?
Okay, like I said, Friday I will not be streaming. I'm going to make sure I actually make sure we... I'm not going to stream in the Friday chat, but again, tune in to Zombie Fans Birthday Marathon. It's going to be a lot more, a bigger blast than Phil. Now, anything he covers on Friday, I'll try to get to... Depending how I finish up this, so you don't play Mass Effect, I'll cover that on that day.
We're going to be reacting to the state of play and...
Gar and Klutzy are also successful because they actually work hard to be in a bigger YouTube. Klutzy's in 2022 was a smaller YouTube, and that's come a long way. Oh, yes, I know about Klutzy and Gar, and those two I love. Believe me, I follow both of them. And there was another channel by the name of Mixie1. God bless her. I miss her. But she was another one I followed. But actually, thanks to Gar and Minxie, they're the ones also helped me get into doing content creation.
the Silent Hill transmission. So there's probably going to be a ton of videos and things that I'm going to be reacting to. It's going to be a really loaded show on Friday. I hope you guys will be here for that. Also, remember tonight, we're doing DSP Tries It tonight on my late stream of Hellmart. So Hellmart will end on the earlier side. We'll probably do about an hour and a half of Hellmart gameplay tonight, and then we're going to end, and we're going to do DSP Tries It Crumble Cookies. So if you want to see that, attend the late night stream, okay?
Nobody cares about that.
Good stuff. Okay, what I would like to do for the end of the show,
I
because now
know,
we've talked a lot about all these topics,
Minxie.
is do a little bit of Q&A. I'm going to allow you guys to just ask me some questions. Tag me in either chat, and let's see what you guys want to talk about. Battleduck says, too bad your Friday stream will be loaded because some of us will be loaded.
I know.
Like they're going to get loaded on
see
Friday.
more than
A lot of people do get loaded on Friday when they come back from school or work. And, especially from school. You get back from a hard day in like 8th grade, and you just start pounding them. There you go. Please drop Dragon Quest to start Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
No, I don't think so.
Once again, chat, because Phil decided he wants to be a moron.
Boo this man!
Okay. Lean into my extensive knowledge of games and do a series called The Dark Side of Gaming where I expose netcode and scams. That's not streaming content. I hate to tell you, it's just not. That would be like video essay, investigation style content, which I don't do, because to do that, I'd have to take time away from streaming, which is not really going to pay the bills, honestly. I don't think anyway. I don't think anyone's going to tune into Dark Side Phil, the video essayist. All right?
Phil, you don't think all anyways.
What's my thoughts on Sleeping Beauty? The more sleep you get, you can actually look better.
All right,
That's true.
so I'm gonna try.
You can retain your beauty
Doing that.
by getting
Sorry,
more sleep.
Chad.
Those who don't get a lot of sleep, they tend to have like sunken in eyes, and they end up looking very tired, kind of gaunt. They don't look good, right? So Sleeping Beauty is a real thing.
Would you barely get any sleep anyways?
Do I play other fighting games besides Street Fighter? I have. I've played Mortal Kombat and Injustice from Midway / NetherRealm now. I don't know why I called them Midway. They're NetherRealm now. I've played Tekken before. I played Soul Calibur. I played versus style games like the Marvel series. I played classic Street Fighter stuff when it's available. So yes, I do. The thing is, Street Fighter is what I grew up playing. I was literally there the day when Street Fighter 2 arrived at my local arcade and played it against everyone for the first time. And I used to travel and play Street Fighter at a professional level for tournament play.
I agree.
So I have the
You
most
better not touch
extensive knowledge of Street Fighter than I have any other fighting game. Not to say that like I couldn't jump into, say, Tekken and play at a decent level, without practicing. I could. Like I usually play with like Paul or King, and I know some good stuff with them. But
Yeah,
in general,
and the sad part about it is, Phil, thanks to Ice, he told me about that. When you was playing Tekken, what was it, the recent Tekken? I forget which one that is. You made up to whatever level it was. You got knocked down to purple, something like that. He made it to a certain rank, and he got knocked back down because, again, he found better competition that he couldn't handle.
Street Fighter's the game I have the most experience with, I've played the best at, and therefore it's easiest for me to jump into. So, for example, later this year, there's going to be more fighting games coming out, like the Invincible Versus game. There's a rumor that Marvel Tokon might come out. I will probably check those games out when they come out. I don't know if I'll stick with them, but I'll probably at least give them a go when they launch.
I give it a go when they launch.
Am I playing Tokyo Scramble? No, we watched the trailer yesterday, or last week, I meant to say, and dude, it was not good. The game, first, if you hear about it, you're like, oh, it's about dinosaurs have invaded Tokyo and people are like scrambling to survive. Oh, that's interesting. So it's kind of like Dino Crisis, right? Then you watch the trailer. And that's all I'm going to say. All you got to do is watch the trailer, and you'll be like, and once I watched it, I was like, I don't think I'm interested in this. This is because at first I was. The premise of the game sounds good, and the trailer completely turned me off from wanting to play the game. So, Texas.
I'm sorry that I keep on bringing up Warfare. No. There's nothing wrong with that, Fox. Always bringing that up.
Shooter, yes, I have.
Better not touch metaphor. Oh, I know. Anthony, he better not.
I've played Metal Slug before. In fact, I played a lot of Metal Slug back in the day when they were arcade games on the SNK cabinets. I played like 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think there's another one too. Like I played a bunch of them back in the day. And they're great games. I haven't played them in a million years, but I have played them. And what years of my life did I have the most trouble sleeping? Actually, my 20s. My 20s.
You mean currently right now when you're up to like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning?
I had a lot of problems. Back then, I was messed up. My head was kind of in the wrong place. A lot of the time, I was depressed.
Which you still are.
I didn't think my life was going anywhere, that it was going anywhere where I wanted it to go, and that anything would happen in my life that would be like fun or meaningful. I'm serious.
Which still is happening currently to this day.
It's like I was really in a bad way. So
Which is still currently to this day.
it was pretty hard to sleep when you don't really like what's going on when you're awake, and then you can't stop thinking about it. It was pretty messed up stuff. So, but it's been a while, and things are so much better now. Seriously.
No, everything that you're saying that happened in the past is currently happening still right now.
Thank you, Rose Diamonds. I'll see you tonight for Hellmar. Sounds good.
Anything
Did
else
he?
you want to say, Philip?
James Vanderbeek has just passed away. That's sad.
Oh, Lord.
For those who don't know, James Vanderbeek used to play the main guy on what was it? Dawson's Creek, right? He was the main actor on Dawson's Creek. I wonder what happened. Yeah, look, here it
I don't
is.
know, go look it up. Oh, God, he's actually go look it up.
James Vanderbeek. I'm trying to find it.
Well, hurry up and find it.
Oh, he had cancer. He was 48 years old.
Dang, that was young.
That sucks. He didn't do much after that, though. Like,
Funny Dog G. 3 a.m. tweets and drunk DM to LTG are a sign of a restful sleep.
Austin
That's
was
a
really his
troll.
biggest role. And I guess he did do some acting after because they're showing pictures of him from other roles he did. But you didn't really hear about him after Dawson's Creek, right? Like, not really. That sucks. This sucks. He's too young, man. 48 years old. And dying of cancer like that. It's terrible. Sheesh.
I mean, you are not far behind that. Especially what you're currently doing right now.
I know, it's sad. Please do exercise streams. I'm very, very strongly opposed to probably doing anything ever like that. The only way I ever would is if I do actually get my workout room set up nicely and I do get a machine so that I can actually do the exercises like properly.
No, Phil. Here's the thing. You don't have to set up a stream just to do that. You could easily do a video of you working out, which, again, we know you're not working out whatsoever because we've seen how your arms look. We've seen how the gut looks. You're not working out.
You know, right now I'm doing everything bootleg. I got 2 free weights that I really don't even have the space to be doing the exercises, so I'm just kind of, you know, very bootleg.
Didn't you say you had adjustable dumbbells? Now it's in your free weights? Which is it?
Like doing it, although it's crazy because I have lost a ton of weight. I've toned up everywhere.
No, you haven't. That's a lie.
From how I used to be, just doing it bootleg. So
You still look like a pudgy fat person that's at 220.
if I get this machine and I get to actually do stuff, you know, the right way, maybe then I would document some of that. But I'm just not going to be doing it with the bootleg shit that I'm doing now. That's for sure.
Because you worry about detractors actually making fun of you.
Jeez, really? Tony Jaa's also dealing with awful cancer. Jeez, man. It takes so many people, and a lot of people who are just so early in their lives. Like Tony Jaa is like a lifelong, like fit guy. I mean, he was Ong Bak. He's a freaking martial artist. It's crazy.
Something called life. It happens. It
Imagine
does
how buff
suck.
I will get with a machine. I won't get overly buff because machines have weight limits. Like in general, I've been looking at certain machines, and it seems like in general the weight limit is anywhere between 150 to 200 pounds. That's it. Like they don't go above that. If you want to pump more than 200 pounds for any exercise, you got to go to the gym and weight up free weight or load up free weights. You know.
You could actually get stuff that's a lot more than 200 pounds, buddy. But again, you can't get that because you're not working out.
But that's okay. I'm totally okay with that. I don't think I want to go crazy and be doing insane amounts of, you know, heavy lifting.
Anything else you want to say, Phil?
No, I'm not going to go on TikTok. Guys, I'm way past the age range for TikTok. TikTok is for teens and 20-year-olds. It's not for 43, about to be 44-year-old internet gameplay streamers. Like, no one's going to be watching Dark Side Phil on TikTok. No one gives a shit.
You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Chat, there are plenty of TikTok, not streamers, but people on TikTok that are actually either 30, 40 years old, streaming gameplay. Well, not streaming, but showing gameplay. So again, he's incorrect. Exactly.
Imagine me doing a meme dance. There you go.
He doesn't. You know he's doing that because he's trying to see.
Come on, let's do the latest TikTok challenge. Drinking 14 gallons of Nesquik in one sitting. Sounds like a plan.
And just because he decided he wants to be a dummy.
Here we go.
Not funny. Dickens left.
Man, that intelligent person would do.
Not funny, Philip. Not funny whatsoever.
Okay. All right, guys, last chance for questions. Let's go. And then what we'll do is we will adjourn, take a little break, and we will go fully into Hollow Knight today. Going to try to get roughly 2.5 to 3 hours of gameplay in. We're in a great spot. First thing we're doing today is taking on a super boss. One of the hardest bosses in the game. It's the harder version of the Soul Master we just beat, but we got to beat him, the harder version. Hopefully we get a good reward, and then we got to continue with the whole Soul Sanctum exploration and all of that. So it's going to be a fun, challenging stream today.
Yeah, Bungie Halo's really the best thing to come.
Do I want to get plastic surgery? Actually, so I have to reveal something right now, everyone. All right, I've never shared this with anyone on the internet before until this very moment. Okay, I have already undergone it.
That's why you say, because Bungie actually made sure they made every game polished. At that time, they had the core right there. Once they broke up after they finished Reach, we saw what happened with both Halo and Destiny. Yeah, I know Halo's made by 343 Industries, and Destiny was made by Bungie itself. Yeah, both don't have a great track record after that.
Extensive plastic surgery. This was the end result after. So can you imagine what I looked like before?
He is such a cringe lord.
This is the reduced jowls.
Again, Philip, not funny.
Best 90s snack for you? It was fruit by the foot. Says nothing here. Best 1990s snack. Ooh, what did I eat the most of in the 90s? That's a tough question. 80s, I'd have a better answer. I used to always eat.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to hear that.
Aaron did another $10 super chat, sending me a smooch, and says, would you ever play Balatro again? Yes, I really like Balatro.
Oh, goodness. I can't wait to see how Vega restream now, because I know the last time he did that, it was driving him nuts.
I played it for like a month on and off in early 2025. It was late 2024, early 2025. And I really liked it, actually. You know, personally, I like poker. I used to play it with my friends. And I used to watch stuff like World Series of Poker and everything. So I really like it. And Balatro being a spin on poker, a new kind of take on poker, makes it fun to me. And we actually unlocked a bunch of decks and we're doing things. And then basically what happened was just like a lot of these indie games, after playing it like maybe 5 streams, 4 streams, it kind of wore out its interest. People weren't that interested in it anymore. So we stopped playing it. But I would definitely go back to Balatro on a stream.
You mean you was worth it because it wasn't that you're really gambling?
If people wanted me to. Soda Delicious was the best fruit snacks as Buckwell. Never tried Soda Delicious. Don't know what that one is.
Again,
Dunkaroos, I remember
about food.
Dunkaroos. They were the, like, just you could play it on the shitter. That's just what I want to do. Thanks for sharing. What's up, King Michael? How's it going today, man? It's good to see you.
Glad to get that because nobody wants to hear that crap.
Chris, how are you? Good to see you. Warheads? Oh, yeah, I used to try. I used to have the Warheads. The super sour kind is the one I used to have. Nuclear Warheads. They were the candies that were small. It does still work. It is still Super Bowl themed. So for the low price of $100, we can see that again if you'd like to. Go for it. Let's go. Aaron with another.
I'm sorry, Chad.
Greetings,
Just skip the
Joshua.
rest of the stuff because the rest of the stuff is just mundane.
Nerds Ropes. Never tried Nerds Ropes. I did have Fruit by the Foot. I liked Fruit by the Foot, actually. It's like, thank you, Lance Catamaran, for a gifted sub over on Kick. That's the second gifted from this morning, which means you now are on the leaderboard. Don't know. Kenshi, I had actually downloaded a while back and said that I would play it if people wanted, and we actually did polling and stuff, and we never got around to playing it. There never seemed to be like a consensus to try it, but I'm not opposed to playing it.
Chat, do me a favor. Could you explain what Kenshi is? Because for some strange reason, that's not ringing a bell in my head.
So I guess, if there's enough desire, I would check it out at some point. Do I miss Telltale style of games? Here's the thing. At that time, in that era, the Telltale style of
Oh, boy. Here we go again.
narrative-based game, right? Back to the Future, Walking Dead and its various iterations and seasons, the 2 seasons of Batman, Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones. I keep going because there were so many of those games, right? There were many more than that. They kind of were their own genre, their own style, and the fact that you could get licensing, right? And make a game in that style and it would be an original and fun story. It was awesome. It really was. The thing is, that style works for someone who's doing a more on-demand video. Reason I say that is because when you're doing a narrative style game, you kind of need to really, really focus on said game and get immersed in what's going on so you can get invested.
Which you can't do neither two because 90% of the time you're not interested in the game. You're literally viewing chat to see who's sending you money and who's talking trash about you.
In the choices of the things that are happening. The reason that it doesn't really work that well in the modern day is because I'm an interactive streamer. So
no, you are a piss poor streamer.
now when I'm trying to do a narrative
Oh, it's a giant open world sandbox where you could do anything like oh, interesting. I might have to check a bit more into that.
based game, I have to talk with you as well, and I have to answer questions. I have to do shout outs for contributions, and when I'm doing that, it takes away from the focus on the game. So for example,
Phil, plenty of times, like I said before, you look at the game, you look bored, you look at your chat. It's either A, you're seeing somebody send you money, or 2, you're seeing who's talking trash about you, as I said before.
this year I am planning on playing the next Life is Strange, and I am planning on playing Directive 8020. Those playthroughs are going to be challenging because I really should be focused here, but instead I may be here. You know what I mean? And that's tough to make the right to make the right choices and care that much. You know what I mean? These days it's harder to get more immersed in a story because the story a lot of the times is about us interacting with said game than just the game. So there was an era when the Telltale games were like very prominent. People used to say they thought that me playing a narrative-based game and commentating over it was my best content. Heavy Rain and
Hold on. I'm sorry. Say that one more time, Philip.
The Walking Dead games interacting with said game than just the game. So there was an era when the Telltale games were like very prominent. People used to say they thought that me playing a narrative-based game and commentating over it was my best content. Heavy Rain and The Walking Dead games like that. Today people don't.
I like to know who told you that because just like past Philip, your gameplay is boring, as well as current Philip, the gameplay is boring.
Really tune in that well for them. I'm being honest. Like when I've played games like Life is Strange and even the last 1 or 2 super massive games, they didn't do as well. So the thing is, times change, things evolve. I like that style. I'm definitely playing a couple of them this week or this year, I should say. I'm just not sure how they're going to do. I guess we'll have to find out together, right?
No.
Someone just did a $2 tip and says, you've been to King Station in Hollow Knight and you missed something. What's usually in a station? Like a train or a trolley or a tram. You're right. No, I think I got to King Station. I turboed through it and didn't do anything, right? Like I didn't actually like explore it because I didn't have a map, so I didn't know what was going on. And I just kept going and going and I ended up in the Soul Sanctum. And
because you're rushing the game to get out the way.
After Soul Sanctum, you know, we'll probably go back for sure. Have I heard that it's rumored HBO is not bringing back Last of Us TV for season 3 due to poor reception from viewers? Yeah, to be honest with you, I think they probably wouldn't have done the second half of season 2 if it hadn't been split the way it was. Because season 2 tanked views-wise compared to season 1. Like, I'm talking half, right? So they probably wouldn't have even done the 3rd season if it didn't need to finish telling the story of 2. But here's the thing.
Again, I don't know why he's talking about the chat, because he doesn't care anything about The Last of Us anyways.
If the show had done really well, they might have continued, and that would have been interesting, because we basically would have had a Fallout situation where they're not making any more games, but instead they're making a show that continues the story, and now everyone has to accept that as canon, right? But now I think that they're not going to keep going. They're not going to make new material. They're just going to say, just tell the story and end it, because it's not even that well received.
If you know why I'm not getting into the newer Halo C remake, it's because it takes away the charm of the original. The art style in the original was already good as because of the I can understand that, David. I'm still going to pick up the new one just because I want to see if I can be able to mod it to the way I like it, but I can understand it. That's a fair reason why not to pick it up.
By the way, can you believe, like, you remember the ending of Last of Us 2, right? How do you think that they're going to react to that? It's not good. The ending of Last of Us 2 is not good. It's awful, actually. So I'm really curious how people are going to react to that in television form. I can't imagine it's going to be a positive reception. Someone just did a $2 chip and says, I'm Sandy Kane from The Naked Cowgirl, and I used to do coke all the time in the 90s, but now I do it in any weather.
Okay, that's a troll. Somebody just razzed them.
Thanks for the $2.
Dented. Very dented to send the money, but razzing them.
Excuse me. All righty then. King Michael says, I was at H&R Block for 2 hours, now I'm back, so you're doing your taxes? I only did my taxes once ever with one of those tax companies, and I can't remember if it was H&R Block. There's another one, too, that's popular, right? The in-person tax company.
And how don't you remember when you did your taxes with who and what time? Like, please explain that.
I can say is this. They did my taxes completely wrong. I know they did. And I went there. This was the first year I was a YouTuber because I wasn't making any money on YouTube at all. And then all of a sudden, at the very end of 2010, I ended up making a ton of money on YouTube. And so I had to do my taxes differently. I didn't get a tax guy at that point. Like, I didn't pay a tax attorney. I just went to H&R Block. They had no clue.
So you just remember that you went to H&R Block.
Clue how to do the taxes. They didn't have a lick of idea of how to do the taxes at all. And so they kept asking me questions, asking me for more documentation. And at the end of the day, they charged me a ton of money. I was like, I thought the whole idea of doing taxes with you is that you're cheaper. And they were like, oh, but your taxes were different because you had your regular pay from your old job, then you had this miscellaneous from your new job, and we charge you more for that. And I was like, then I'm just going to fucking get a tax attorney. And that's what I did. After that, I was like, I'm not going to go to you. You guys are ripping me off. I'm just going to go pay for the real deal then.
You still didn't get enough back. Because I remember that because you did
Is it TurboTax? I feel like...
I remember that because you did the, what was it? The, the tax marathon, whichever you would call it. Yes, actually, we could do that. So we could do a legendary run. You, me, I used to do it, and everybody else who wants to come along.
It wasn't TurboTax. Like, there was another company that used to do it back then, and that's who I went to, but I can't remember. I mean, you're talking 15, 16 years ago. Okay. All right, folks. I think that's where we're going to end it. This was a great podcast, all right? Thank you for the feedback.
And that's exactly, I will follow Phil's advice. And that's where we're going to end it because, good Lord and mercy, this was a terrible, terrible podcast. That was a terrible, terrible podcast, Phil. Like, good Lord. There were some things that were interesting and then a whole lot of nothing. But, oh my God. But anyways, guys and girls, almost out of time. Tomorrow I'll be back for streaming. We're going to cover the rest of the stuff I meant to cover from Sunday. And depending what time we end, I'll do some other things. Might do another community gameplay at Helldivers 2. Just depends. Friday I won't be streaming because I want to actually make sure I tune to a Zombie Fans Marathon. But Saturday, finish up this Don't Play Mass Effect Edition and a couple other things. And then Sunday we'll do something interesting. Anyways, guys and girls, that's good to be it. Hope y'all have a beautiful rest of your day. Take care. And always remember to stay on target. And before we dip out, let me see who else is streaming because I want to send you guys somebody. Let me see. Give me a sec, Jack. Give me a sec. I gotta stop hitting my dog on mic like the idiot I am. Who else is streaming? Let's see. Ooh. Hold up. Hold on, chat. Okay, I know I'm gonna send you guys too. I'm sending over to Dapper Guys. He does mostly just gameplay and stuff. Actually, it's a good time. We go ahead and have a little detox chat. Tell him I'm gonna send a link to his channel here. Hold on. Send it right here. Go and check him out, chat. Again, he's just a small timer, small YouTube content creator, mostly gameplay. But tell him Vanguard sent you guys. But anyways, guys, you take care. Have a pleasant day.